Ba-dum-bum.
Kill Jadis. What's up, buddy? Hey, BL. Good morning, Paul.
Paul. Paul, this is Paul.
Your name, Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul.
Tider Raider, what's up, my brother? What's up, JB? Welcome in. Ashton, what's up, bud?
Coach Davis. All right. Swaggy.
Uncle Mosh.
Man, it's good to be here tonight.
My gosh. This is the second week in a row with all of us.
Can I almost didn't make it.
Oh.
Almost didn't make it.
Well.
I had an issue.
You always seem to have an issue.
Well, so many of them are fabricated. Like Gil. Sometimes I have issues, and sometimes I just like to tell stories.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes my issues are other people's issues.
You're a thespian. I mean, of course.
I am, but we don't talk about that because it's okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
John Ogle's in there. Atticus B. Rockin'. Coach Davis. Ashton's in there. Tider Raider. Speaking of Gil, Fabricator Gil's in there.
Gil, my main man.
Raider Shank.
He says, "Hello, Paul, it's me, Shaylin. I just changed my name."
Perfect.
Raider Shank.
Love it. What's up, Lee B? Jesse?
What's that, Murf? You got me spitting. Hang on. Nobody needed to see
Road
that.
Code is in there. What's up, Road Code? Lala Meloso. My wife is in there. What up, baby girl?
Hey, Miss Chris. How do you do those emojis she did?
You just click the smiley face, pal.
There's no smiley face on my keyboard, pal.
You don't have the newest model computer.
Buddy,
No,
I'm still waiting for you to show me how to use my phone.
Well, yeah. Vibrator's in there. What's up, Vibrator?
So it's funny, on the Facebook, you get those like who your friends were and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'll have stuff that I posted that you're in.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I send it to you, sometimes I don't. I had one the other day that said something, and it wasn't one. I don't remember posting it. I think you posted it because you set up my Facebook like 18 years ago.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We good? All right. Hey, let's kick off another episode of Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, collecting top, a leaping top, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, high running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murf, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Well, thank you, Brett. We were all looking at each other going, who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got it?
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate you all joining us live tonight in the chat room for episode number 251 of Raiders Fan Radio. 251. You can find us on the YouTubes. That is youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. You can find us each and every week and join us there at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate all of those of you that are joining us live there tonight on the YouTubes. And we appreciate everybody that is joining us on the audio version of the podcast, where you can search on any of your favorite podcast platforms like Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, I guess. Google Podcast.
You okay? Did you just swallow your tongue?
No, this is why they tell you don't take a sip of something before you start a show, because as I learned from you, you start talking.
Is that what they say? Did they say that?
Well, Mosh says.
That's why I always chug.
So anyway, we appreciate all of those of you joining us on the audio version of the podcast. You can ask your internet-connected device like Alexa or your Google or whatever it is. And you can always find us at Raiders Fan Radio on all the social medias and on all the whatnots. And so appreciate it.
Or as Uncle Mosh says, he'll just go, "Hey, Swag."
I think there's something new in the interwebs. Put it on my phone.
Put it on my
Swaggy.
phone. Make it go.
Show me how to work it.
So we appreciate those of you. We appreciate you so very, very much. All right, so let me go ahead and introduce the rest of the crew today, because we have a 3-man booth tonight here at Raiders Fan Radio for episode number 251. And first, let me introduce the man that really needs no introduction. He is Rob Ryan's doppelganger.
Yes.
He is the man that adorns the Western Annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. He is the one and only,
Mosh,
the legendary,
you're the smartest man alive.
Uncle Mosh.
Yeah.
Man.
What's up, Uncle Mosh?
Man, I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to get to Vegas, sign the autographs as Rob, and then cut my hair. Man,
you're just waiting for December.
I just feel like the deranged Santa Claus.
Well, you know what? But you do. You play an awesome Santa Claus.
I do.
Though.
I do.
So you could actually work the long hair into your Santa Claus routine this year.
Absolutely.
So it
Absolutely.
works.
Hey, so
yeah.
Jeff, I know you got a protege, and I know we'll get to Jeff in a second.
Yeah,
I know
we
you
got
got you got a protege, and you got he's your Padawan. Oh, did I use that right?
Yes,
did I use that right?
Very
Wow.
good.
And but I got a thing.
You got a thing.
I got a thing. Hey, I got a thing.
I got a thing.
251.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a 251?
I got it. It doesn't have anything to do with the Raiders.
Oh, well, we'll throw it out there. What do you got?
Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the Raiders. 251. Who's Murf's all-time favorite Raider?
Kenny Stabler.
Yeah. From where?
Alabama.
From Alabama. Area code 251.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's
way to go.
legit, man.
Thank you.
That is fantastic. I love it.
you
Wow, legit.
Legit.
Yeah,
Good
that's
job, Uncle
really
Mosh.
good.
Good job.
So tell your Padawan that, hey,
Well-
if he needs some help, he can call me.
So,
Yeah, there you go.
Well, speaking of Padawan, you have a Padawan. You are, in fact, a master. And you have numerous Padawans running around the earth. Okay?
I do.
And Coruscant.
Some
and
of them can't be proven.
But speaking of your Padawans, let's go ahead and turn it over to the man that adorns the southern annex of the western annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. He is Padawan number 1 in your heart.
Absolutely.
And number 1 in your program, or number 6 in your program, I should say.
Yeah.
Let's go, Swag Jeff.
Hey.
It's so funny you would say number 6. That's what he is on my speed dial. I'm pulling out some number stuff tonight.
Well, you can say shit. It's okay.
I don't want to.
You like 5 people more than me?
2 of them are my wife. One's her cell, one's the house.
Nice.
Oh,
and I got one.
And you got one.
I got one. I'm 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's 4 and 5?
Well, one of them's Josh's ex, but no.
Oh no!
Jeez.
No, I think I bumped her out. You might be up to 5, Hefe.
Well, yeah,
nice.
yeah. He should be 5.
Yeah.
I should be 5 time. 5 time. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here. I was just saying at the pre-show, this is our second week in a row where we've had like the whole crew here.
Yes.
And we don't normally do that during the summertime. So it feels good to just all be here, man. And we're going to talk about the Raiders tonight.
Oh, I was just going to say, what's going to be so much fun tonight is that, look, I love all of our big shows. I love our fannies. I love our Summer of Swag. I love all the amazing, fun things that we do. Well, at least we think they're amazing, and I hope you do too. We love all the stuff that we have going on around it. But tonight, we're going to break it down. We're going to do a simple version of Raiders Fan Radio. Go figure, tonight, it's going to be 3 guys hanging out in a Raider fan cave talking about the freaking Raiders.
What a concept.
What a concept.
Yes.
We're going to have so much fun tonight, Swag Jeff. We got so many amazing stories to get to tonight. But before we do that, please shout out the chat room. What do we got going on
Oh, my
there?
gosh. We got everyone. We got Raider Shanks in there. Jason Thomas. Ashton's in there. Paul. Vibrators in there. Coach Davis is in there. Yeah, that's one of my...
let's go, Vibe.
Hey, catch that vibe, bro. Let's see. Raphael's in there. Lee B's in there. Freddie B's in there. Let's see.
Jose's in there. Raphael's in there.
Yeah, Adam Hill. Kill Jadis is in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Alfred Esparza's in there. Let's see. Bugsy Raider's in there. Pineapple. Lencho. My wife's in there. Jeff Wilson's in there. We got the whole crew, man.
Kill Jadis.
OG
Ashton,
Daniel's in there.
Coach Davis. Man, they're all here. I went back up to the top and scrolled in.
That's awesome, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Appreciate seeing everybody there in the chat room. Kevin the Raider Nerd is in there, man. So many of our good friends. We appreciate you joining us live on the YouTube. And again, if you're listening to us after the fact and you want to check in on the YouTube, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night. And do us a favor while you're there. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, smash the bell. We love all the...
press the damn button, nerd.
There you go. And as much as we love all the amazing comments in the chat room live, if you don't mind, bounce out, leave a comment on the YouTube video there. That helps with the algorithm. And, and again, all the money that we make around here, whether it's through advertising, by you helping promote our show, or the direct donations, or the amazing super chats, which we got one in there from Aaron the Q-Dog Raider already tonight for 1911. We appreciate Aaron the Q-Dog Raider and that contribution. All of our money, 100% of that, goes to our nonprofit, which is the One Nation Foundation. And we've got an update that Swag is going to give us here in a minute for what's been going on, where we're at on the Summer of Swag. We're not giving away anything tonight. We're not raising any money tonight. Of course, we always appreciate any super chats, but we're not giving anything away. We're just going to hang out and talk about the Raiders and enjoy your company here that we have in the chat room. But we're going to get to that update in a minute. Before we get to that, though, we always take our episode number, like Uncle Mosh so brilliantly just did with Kenny Stabler being from the 251, and we tied that number back to something significant within Raider Nation. Swag Jeff does an amazing job of it. And who do we got tonight?
Well, we got a couple.
Okay, I like it.
We're going to be highlighting one of our favorite Raiders of all time.
Okay.
One of our favorite Raiders of all time. We're going to be talking about the GOAT. Let's get some Charles Woodson going on in here.
Let's
Charles
go.
Woodson. So this is a Raider stat, but we're going to be highlighting the entire career of the GOAT. So Charles Woodson played 151 games for us.
Okay.
Which those are our favorite games. But in total, Charles Woodson played in 251 games in the NFL.
Done. Okay.
In the NFL.
Okay. All right.
So, sorry, let me hit that. But like I said last week, Thumb's just taken over. Old
T-Hom.
T-Hom, man, he's
Come on, T-Hom.
He's just taking over my job. So he said last week we talked about the significance of 250 to Raider Nation, and we focused on a Monday night football game in 1987. Well, for this episode number, we're going to go back to the same year, 1987, and we're going to take a closer look at one of our favorite players, number 32, Marcus Allen. All right. So the 1987 season was shortened, one game because of the players' strike, and Marcus only played in 12 of those games due to injury. Still, he led the team in rushing with 754 yards in 200 attempts and also scoring 5 touchdowns. But Marcus also led the team in receptions that year with 51. So, if you do the math on that, Marcus Allen touched the ball 251 times in 1987.
T-Hom.
There you go.
Well done, my friend.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Love a good career stat.
Love a good career stat.
Man, we love us some Marcus. I know he's a little bit maligned at times.
I like Marcus, man.
I like Marcus, man. Running with the night. He's the reason that we won that dang Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
All right, let's. Before we jump into this Summer of Swag update, Swaggo, Uncle Mosh, take us to some contact information. And while you're listening to this, to the dulcet tones of Uncle Mosh, explain to you all the contact information. If you don't mind doing us a favor and contact us in all those ways while you're listening.
I love it.
Oh, do it.
Do you think maybe we could
do it while you're...
Go ahead and maybe hit the like button.
Let's do it. Let's go a little RFR ASMR.
I have tingles.
Ooh, hey, Raider Nation. You got your old Uncle Mosh here.
That would be
with
me.
Updated contact info.
That would be you.
So sit up, zip up,
And
shut up,
shut up.
and pay attention.
Wait a
Right,
minute.
You
this
can
stuff
call
down.
us at 909-3...
We need to cut a version of you doing the contact info all ASMR. That would be amazing.
That'd be great.
The Twitters.
You want me to do it live?
Yes.
Well, one take Jake over here.
Yep.
Hey, Raider Nation. This is your old Uncle Mosh. And I'm chilling. I'm naked in my leather chair. That's right. I've got a little sweat rolling down the crack of my ass. But I want you right now. I want you to tune in to Raider Nation. Raider Nation, you can be found on RFR. If you want to listen to us semi-live, tune in on Wednesdays. You want to listen on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, or any of that other stuff, just search out Raiders Fan Radio. All right, babies. We'll see you later.
Good. Holy
I'm actually
Oh my gosh,
wearing
that was
shorts
good.
and I really am having a vital bondage alert over here because I'm sweating like a big dog.
nice.
He said a vinyl bondage alert.
I'm serious. I'm afraid to move my legs because I thought I might
Glasses are fogging up already.
I might have one of them nasty skin graft scars if I move too fast. It's hot up here, bruh.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Uncle Mosh already coming out with the Foggy Glasses Award favorite. Oh, my gosh. Kevin the Raider Nerd says leather chair sweat streak. Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh. And the vibrator says, that's hot.
And he said it just like that.
Oh, my gosh. Too funny. All right. Who says vibrator's a he? But, all right.
Miss Chris says, second week in a row now, I've seen or heard more of Mosh than I'd like to.
Oh, my gosh. Jason Thomas says Mosh is worrying about drop the ball. I don't know what that means, but it's funny.
Okay, so one of my kids said that at
Oh, is that a new
today,
thing?
and I asked what it means, and my assistant goes,
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. And
Okay.
she's like 22, right? And she's like, and I'm like, well, just tell me later. And she's like, I don't think so. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay. So I guess I'll have to look it up.
Okay, all right. So, cue the old guys who have no idea.
Everyone's laughing in there. You might have to clear your internet history or something after you look that up.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
That's like the time in class one time I told him, I said, oh, yeah, I want everybody to come in tomorrow and tell me a joke. It might have been your class, Jeff. And I go, come in and tell me a joke tomorrow. We don't have any jokes. It was early in the year. And they're like, we don't have any jokes. And I go, just look it up on the interwebs. Like, type in knockknock.com, right? Or something like that. I don't know. The next day they come in and they go, we went to knockknock.com. It's a porn site.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I think that was your class.
Probably.
Yeah.
And it was probably Jeff.
It was probably me. Yeah, I got in trouble for that shit.
All right, so let's one more quick thing before we start talking about the Raiders. Give us, speaking of swag, Jeff.
Yes.
You kicked off for us. You had this brilliant idea last year. You said, when we do all these giveaways, let's call it the Summer of Swag.
Right.
Swag, not only to honor your name, but you are all about the swag. You're all about the giveaways. You're all
Well, he
about
was
the stuff.
ordering a lot of it at the time. He had the hookups and everything for the stuff we were giving away. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so Jeff got us a guy. We got all kinds of cool autographed merch and that we've been giving all this stuff away. And in fact, I've got a big order going out very soon for those of you that won. I haven't sent them out because I'm waiting for all the shirts and everything. I have to order that stuff as I get your sizes and all that. So just pardon me on the delay. The fulfillment department around here sucks because it's just me. But I will get all that stuff sent out to you very, very soon. And so we appreciate all of those of you that have contributed so amazingly to the One Nation Foundation. And we have raised a bunch of money doing this Summer of Swag thing. That was your idea, Jeff.
Yes.
And we have an awesome update on where we are. I don't want to steal any thunder. Talk about the goals. Talk about where we're at. Give us an update.
Sure. Well, I'm going to start by taking it all the way back to 2019.
Okay.
That was the first year that I was a part of the show, and we went to the Bay Area and we went to the Crab Fest, and on your behalf, Raider Nation, we raised $2,000. That was our goal. That was awesome. And the next year we wanted to double it, and we did. And so this year we said, what if we doubled it again? What if we went from 2 to 4 to 8? It's kind of a pipe dream, but in all of the 2019 season, we raised $2,000. So the last 2 weeks that we've done this show, we raised over that in two episodes.
So good.
That's
in
crazy.
2 episodes.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. So, and that's of course all because of just our amazing support that we get live in the chat, all that stuff, the super chats, the direct donations, all that kind of stuff. We just can't thank you enough. But we're well on our way to our goal. We kind of thought it was going to be, maybe we'll get to 8, maybe we won't. We're over 5 right now.
Let's go!
We are over $5,000 right now. And you know what? It's in sight. We're on pace for 8 GER right now. So yeah,
freaking believable, dude.
So yeah, so a pipe dream that we had, back in the spring and all that stuff, it's real. It's real, and we're gonna hit it.
We're gonna hit it.
We're just gonna hit it because we've still got some other stuff. The Summer of Swag we're
paused.
It's still early. It's July.
It's July, man, and we're not giving away anything tonight. But we've got some other stuff in the works. We've got some stuff cooking, some possible sponsorships that we got going on. We've got some major stuff going on, and we're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit this goal for sure, and it's all because of you. So we can't thank you enough. The Summer of Swag has just been. We look forward, just like the fannies, man. We look forward to the Summer of Swag every year because it just blows our mind every single week. We had a couple weeks last year where we raised $800, and we were like, oh my gosh, like how crazy is that? Well, and then a month ago, we raised $1,200 on the show. And then for the fannies, we raised $1,500 on the nuts. Man. It's just unbelievable. And, and obviously Google takes their share. Google has to take their cut. And it's a significant cut. But, still, we had a lot of money just coming to our account this week. The month of June ended, and it's just hit. It just hit, and it was a monster hit.
It was a monster hit.
Yeah.
And we're not only over 5, we're we're nudging up to 6.
Yeah.
We're going to get
speeding up to it.
So we're doing good, Raider Nation. So thank you. I cannot thank all of you and your generosity enough for the amazing donations. And we're going to hit this thing by a long shot. And the good news is that once we get to 8, we're not going to stop fundraising. All that money still goes in One Nation. Can either lead into what we're going to do next year, or we're just going to start giving it to Darren's foundation or Derek or whatever. Any Raiders related charity, we're good to give that money away after we hit that Bolitnikoff number. But we couldn't have clearly. I say we couldn't have done without it. We didn't do shit. All we did was turn on microphones and talk about this stuff. You guys are the ones that did it. Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate you and we love you. Such good stuff.
Absolutely.
Such good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, Uncle Mosh, let's hit a what do we do? What do we hit? The audio breaks is what we call these in the biz and the inside in the industry. What we call
I got thrown off. I was on Urban Dictionary looking up "drop the ball."
You got an update for us?
No.
Oh no!
Not that he wants to talk about.
I'm just trying to figure out how to erase my search history.
Okay,
Jeff.
Okay, go.
Hey everybody, this is your old Uncle Mosh out here at the Raiders game. I got Q-Dog, I got Mojo, I got Big Raider Trucker, and they got something to tell you about Raiders Fan Radio.
Get your facts, get your funny, and get the F out.
All right, look forward to seeing those guys coming up very, very soon. If you're coming to Nashville, you can join up with the with the Raiders Fan Radio meetup. We're going to do a, which we've already announced, so I think I could talk about it freely. We're going to do, in fact, maybe Jeff even has a little bit of an update for us. We're going to do a live meetup prior to the game. The game I'm referring to is the Raiders at Titans game. That is on September 25th. And we're going to be doing a joint tailgate with the Bussin' with the Boys crew. And so look forward to meeting all of you. If you're coming to the game, look like we'll have more details as we get closer.
Yeah.
But definitely look to meet up with us. Jeff, you talked to those guys? What do you got going on?
Yeah. I've reached out to those guys, talked to Will a little bit, and talked to his crew, of course, Garrett and JP and all those guys. We love those guys. They're great. But we don't know exactly where it's going to be yet.
Okay.
Because there's a couple different options as far as bars go. Last year they did it at Acme Feed and Seed.
Yes.
And it was fantastic. We went to a preseason one of those things last year, and we had a freaking ball. It was so much fun. So I don't know. So I don't know if it's going to be at Acme or if it's going to go to one of the other bars downtown on Broadway or anything like that. But yes, that day, the morning of the Raiders-Titans game, we will be at that tailgate, and we're going to black it out. There's going to be a lot of two-tone blue at that game, so let's black it out.
Let's black it out. Let's get all the Raider fans go. And we've heard from tons and tons of you, regular listeners to this show, people that just connect with us on social media. Tons and tons of folks are coming to this thing.
Yeah, man,
it's
for
going to
sure.
be absolutely amazing, and cannot wait to see all of you at that game. Not only at the game, but again at this tailgate. Our tailgate will be at Acme or wherever else, and it will be right up to game time. So we actually probably won't get to the game until after the first quarter.
Sure.
Because we're going to be doing a live broadcast. We're going to be doing a whole big thing with those guys. And so by the time we make it over across the river, across the pedestrian bridge there.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's going to be a little bit later. But you can meet up with us. We're going to be there first thing in the morning. We want to do a live show early and then just be able to kick it with everybody through
and
the
that's
rest
what
of
I'm
the way
looking
out.
forward to.
And what's the date again?
The 25th of
25th
September.
of September. So
25th
it's coming
of September.
up fast,
Yep.
man. It's 9 weeks away.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yep.
But, so I think we talked about it a little bit last week. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider is one of the most fun people around the Raiders and around different things like that. And so if you want to hang out with a guy like him, which why wouldn't you? He's going to be there. Mojo's going to be there. Emiliano's going to be there. Ramon's going to be there. The Mangus boys are going to be there. Houston Raider Steve's going to be there. Of course, we're going to be there. Michelle Sweat and Lamont and all those guys, they're going to be, we're going to have the whole freaking crew, man. So come and get down with us, man.
Miss Chris will be there.
Absolutely.
Vibrator will be there.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely. We have so many people we're going to be there.
Well, yeah.
You got all excited just then, Murf.
Well, yeah, because never mind. I'll tell you who that is.
No, I know who it is.
Oh, okay.
I know who it is. Yeah.
So it's going to be a blast. So anyway, can't wait to see you all there. Mosh, go ahead and hit us one more audio break, and then let's get into some respect.
Oh, you know what? I can do that.
You're listening to The Violator, and I'm live on Raiders Fan Radio. Where you at, baby?
All right, appreciate everybody that's joining us live in the chat room tonight. Ariel Zuniga's in there, Raider Shank, Paul Edgerton, Clarence Stockton, Rogue Code, Jason Thomas, Raider Shank, Bugsy Raider. Appreciate Raider Shank, by the way. I got your email, and we're gonna do that in the Sea of Fans. Enjoy hockey practice, and hopefully you catch us when you get back. Alfred Esparza is in there. Lee B. Jeff Wilson is in there. Appreciate everybody. Anthony Provencio. So many of our good friends and good folks are in there. Ashton is in there. Appreciate you. And so Mosh,
hit me.
We don't do props around here. We don't do shout-outs. At time, we like to give a little bit of respect. There's nothing wrong with those other things, but, we like to give respect.
A little respect. This is my favorite music.
So good.
Murf, Swaggy J, Nation. It's time for a little respect. Respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated. It's earned.
And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
So this is really easy. So listen, this is going to be, you could just about call this the respect show, because we're going to have so many folks to give respect to, and we appreciate all of you that are in the chat room tonight, and all of those of you that, again, that support our show, and all the amazing donations like that, like is the respect of the respect. But when it comes to the world of the Raiders, there are so many other folks that we want to give respect to, and there are tons upon tons, I tell you, Mosh.
How many?
There are so many folks that we want to give a respect to, and it's really easy to start off with the Raiders, because there was a monstrous hiring for the Raiders this past week.
Yes.
Wait, can we just stop right there?
Yes, please.
Just all.
Okay.
I just want everybody to close their eyes.
All right.
And just visualize
Break
her.
it down. Oh.
Oh, she's hot.
And it's something to be said
And
for
smart.
when you're hot and brilliant. And that's the thing, is that so of course we're talking about the newly hired team president for your Las Vegas Raiders, and that is Sandra Douglas Morgan. And yes, and not only does she have the bona fides, I mean,
Yes, she do. Couple of them.
I'm talking about
Sorry.
She's got an absolute incredible history in Las Vegas, in the state of Nevada, and the Raiders could not have made a better hire. And we're going to talk a lot about this here upcoming. So let's go ahead and let's start off with the official announcement that came through NFL Network. Anyways, this version of the official announcement came through NFL Network, and let's listen to MJ Acosta announce the hiring of Sandra Douglas Morgan.
The Raiders introduced their new team president, Sandra Douglas Morgan. She is the first black woman in NFL history to assume the role. Morgan was most recently chairwoman of the Nevada Gaming Control Board, and that's a role she occupied back in 2019. She had her press conference today. She had also served on the Nevada Gaming Commission. So this tweet coming in from Max Crosby, who was there. Congrats to our new team president, Sandra Douglas Morgan. She was also formerly the attorney for the MGM Mirage.
All right, so she has a long history in working for, not only as a lawyer, and not only working in the state of Nevada, but working with the gaming commissions, working with big casinos like the Mirage, and worked as
Keep going. You're all right. Why do you let things interrupt you?
Because you got to go to your camera.
That's okay.
Because we have an audio version of the podcast.
I understand that.
Uncle Mosh is showing a picture of the lovely Sandra Douglas Morgan, and so. All right. So let's listen to Sandra as she gives her opening statement after being introduced by team owner Mark Davis.
Thank you, Mark, for such a warm introduction. It's my honor to be here today as the newest member of the Raiders family. As I shared with the team earlier today, I was raised in Las Vegas and have truly witnessed this city ascend to one of the sports capitals of the world, visited by millions across the globe, and it is an honor of a lifetime to serve as the president of this organization. The Raiders organization has actually brought $2.29 billion in economic impact of visitors for events in Allegiant Stadium. And the estimated impact of the Super Bowl in 2024 is estimated to be in the billions as well. We have so much more to do, and I'm excited to be at the helm of that growth and look forward to ushering in the new chapter for the Raiders. Thank you, Mark, for your faith in me to lead this organization in this very important moment. I'm very grateful that my dearest friends and family, my parents, husband, children, and nephews could be here today. Your support means the world to me, and I do not take it for granted.
All right, so listen, this is such an awesome hire, and here's, it's one thing for like three knuckleheads in a bonus room to give you an opinion. It's another thing to even give like sports analysts or other people that are looking at this from the outside and from a sports perspective. Here's what sold me big time on this, is that when this hiring was announced, they reached out to, and they being the Las Vegas Review-Journal, reached out to different peers of hers and other folks around Nevada and the gaming industry that she has worked with. this is bananas. Like, you can't get more ringing endorsements from, you're talking about like the highest level of folks in terms of running organizations here. So talking about from other major league franchise owners on this historic hire, this comes from Golden Knights owner Bill Foley. She's extremely intelligent and very practical. I'd like to say she's street smart, very organized. She's a high quality person. She called and asked me about the position, and I told her it's a great opportunity for you. You should take it. I think it's a great fit. She'll bring a lot to the party. I don't know the Raiders except from afar, but it looks like there's been some turnover. I believe she'll bring stability to that organization. Now, Sanders, isn't that great?
That's amazing.
I love that. You know, talking, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
But last year at the Bolitnikoff event, we had a lot. We were hanging out with a lot of cool people. We were of course hanging out with Fred and with Phil and Mark was there, and that was what he said. He lost his best friend John Gruden. He lost what was he? Bourdain.
Mark Bourdain. Yeah.
Mark Bourdain. He lost his stability. So hearing that is like, I'm sure that was another. I'm sure that was one of the great reasons why Mark Davis decided to hire
100%.
her. You know, he needed his stability back in his franchise.
Absolutely. That's a great point. And you talk about coupling her now with Marcel Reese. Like, I mean, you got nothing but stability at the top levels of the organization when it comes to the Raiders. So she sits on the board of Fidelity National Financial, which Foley, the president of the Golden Knights, is the chairman. So that's just one part of this impressive resume that she brings. So as I mentioned, she grew up in Nevada. She's a graduate of El Dorado High School there in Nevada. So this comes from Governor Steve Sisolak. He says, I knew Sandra had a bright future when I appointed her the chair of the Nevada Gaming Control Board, and I'm incredibly proud to see her breaking barriers in the NFL as the first black woman president in the league. She's a fantastic pick for the team. I know she'll continue to make Nevada proud. I look forward to working with her to create more jobs for Nevadans, grow our sports economy, and keep Las Vegas the sports capital of the world. Like, again, you're talking about, so now we got this the owner of the Golden Knights, the governor of the freaking state of Nevada, the former NAC executive director, Bob Bennett, says she's so bright, she's special, she's a quick study, she has an uncanny ability to take facts and make the right decisions. She's a leader who I was honored to work on the Nevada State Athletic Commission and winner in every sense of the word. Here comes from Mark Ratner, the UFC vice president, right under Dana White. She's a strong woman who brought a real business sense to the commission. I really enjoyed working with her. She brings with her some real credibility and a very strong tie to the community and the whole state of Nevada. All right. And then this list, I'll save you like going, it goes on and on and on. And one of the more ringing endorsements that I thought, so this comes from the guy who probably knows her best. It's her husband, Don Morgan.
Don Morgan, who grew up in California, went to high school at Manteca High School in California, and then went on. I think he went to college in Reno, right?
Yep.
And then played for Minnesota. I mean, yeah.
And what's he say? She's done things the right way. She's paid her dues. She's been involved with our community and earned a great reputation. This is an awesome opportunity. We're college sweethearts, and just seeing her work her way through the industry, I'm just so proud of her. Like, let's effing go.
I know,
right?
This
is so freaking cool.
This is the kind of hire that we need, man.
Absolutely. There's nothing about this hire that I think that you could be critical of. Like, there's nothing about it. It fits the legacy of the Raiders. It fits the position. There's nothing about it that doesn't make any kind of sense. And that's a very small smattering, but there's been a couple of people out there where I've heard a couple of things about like, oh, it's a diversity play or save it. Bullshit. That's not what this is. She's the best person for this job. She's going to be amazing, and we look forward to seeing her in what she does as the team president. Let's check in with her. She comments on being the first black woman to run a football team.
I went to get to a point, obviously, where there is no more firsts. But as I kind of mentioned in my comments, you know, the impact that this has is not lost on me. If I definitely would tip my hat to all of the prior women that were leaders and visionaries. And if I could be an inspiration or help or open doors for any other woman and girl out there, then that's an incredible accomplishment for me. So the importance and effect of it is not lost on me. And I know that sports is a male-dominated industry, just as gaming was. And, we need to continue to break down these barriers. So I'm happy to be here, and again, thankful for the opportunity.
I love that. I love the idea of looks forward to the day where there doesn't have to be any more firsts.
Totally.
We all do, right? It's such a
Absolutely.
nice thing. And it's like, it's critical. And again, it fits the story of the Raiders so well, don't you think?
Oh, totally. Well, I mean, yeah,
it's our legacy, man.
He's following, and Mark is doing what Al did. Al did a lot of these same things, bringing on Art Shell, stuff like that. Bringing in Tom Flores, all this stuff. The Raiders,
Trask.
Yeah, absolutely. The Raiders have been doing this since the beginning. So it definitely was not a diversity hire. She's obviously the right person for the job, but the diversity aspect of it is also fantastic. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Mark Davis commented on this, and he says it right here loud and clear. Diversity is in our DNA.
You're for either. It was more to get the best person possible for the job. That's always what it is with Raider organization. That's how I grew up. That's our DNA. Diversity is our DNA, and we're always looking for the best. Whether, depending, whoever and however you are, if you can do the job the best, if you can help bring the Raider Nation where we belong and need to get back there, that's who we're looking for to be part of it.
All right, here we go, man. And like you said, I couldn't expand on it more. You nailed it there, Swaggo. And there you hear it from the man himself, from Mark Davis. I hope she's at the Belinikoff dinner. Well, that'd be so cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Get a chance to meet her. I hope she's at the Belinikoff dinner.
Well, I can't remember who said it in the chat, but said that this feels like it's going to be the next Al Davis and Amy Trask. Like they're just going to be like
nice.
This, man. So,
like
the great relationship that they had. Someone even in there said maybe he'll finally get the long overdue makeover that he's needed. Maybe she'll hook him up with a new barber or something like that,
Maybe she can get her husband a tryout.
Well, but like, how cool is that though? Like you said, he's a former NFL athlete.
Yep.
So she's got like a great, advisor at the house.
Football's in her DNA as well.
Dang, man. Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
I'm going to look into it, but we might be related somehow because she's from, her husband, San Joaquin Valley, our grandfather lived in Stockton.
Yeah,
not up the road a little bit. We might be kin.
We might.
I'm going to start claiming it. I think.
Hey, do it.
We're going to have to delete this episode of you calling her hot then. I guess we do live in the South.
We live in this. Oh! Give yourself applause.
Attaboy, Swaggo.
I didn't say she was my sister. I just said a kissing cousin, and we're not far from
third cousin. You'd be all right.
We're not far from Kentucky, so.
Oh my God.
Oh man, that's the best. All right, so I got one more audio clip to play for you. Okay, it's one thing to get the media's opinion. It's one thing to get the gaming commission and everybody else that's involved with Nevada politics and whatnot. It's one thing to get their opinion. It's one thing to get Mark Davis's opinion. But what about the players?
Yes.
What about the players?
Yes.
What does one of the leaders on our team think
Let's
about
find
the
out.
hiring? And let's check in with Max Crosby.
Yeah, they're separate, but at the end of the day, we're a big family. Mark talks about it all the time. Just being a big family, and that's number one. We need everybody in the building to be on the same page. Can't be separate. It can't be everything separated. At the end of the day, we're all trying to take this organization to the next level. And the Davis family has done that for years and years. So we're just trying to keep going.
You might have been asked, what impressed you most about her when she talked to you?
Just she's confident. You can tell from the second I met her. And she's just a good person. She knows she's the right person for the job. Obviously Mr. Davis knows more about the whole process, but she's been awesome, and we're glad she's here.
What does it mean to be part of an organization that continuously makes history with an historic hire like this?
Yeah, for me, since the day I got here, I fell in love with the family environment. Everybody here is truly here for each other, and that's what it's all about. You want to show up to work and trust the person that's next to you, from teammates to coaches to the president. things like that, you know, and they just do a great job of implementing everyone together and creating a family environment.
I love that, man. Creating the family environment.
Yes.
What is the Raider Nation is? It's La Familia, man.
My
Let's
gosh,
go.
man. This guy's going to be the face of the franchise for years and years to come. Like, my kids, they're going to look at Max Crosby as like, oh, that's the legend. You know how, like, we look at, like, Howie Long and Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson and all this
Otis
stuff.
Sistrunk.
There you go. There you go.
Hey.
This guy's going to be the guy that, like, my son's going to be like, oh, my gosh, you got to watch Max Crosby play in his prime. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
I agree with you. I think Max is quickly becoming a big time leader on this team, and other than I don't want to start making comparisons, but other than Derek, like he's definitely the leader on the defense. I mean, who else? Denzel Perryman, maybe, but Denzel hasn't been around that long. He's only been around 1 year. Like you know, Max has got the big contract. He's gonna be around for a long time. He's young. Like you know, Denzel's going on to being 30. You know what I mean? So like, you know, like,
and I didn't mean to gush over Max. I mean, we're talking about Sandra, but
no, but
it's like, holy cow. I just love that, man.
Yeah. The message that he sends there about how Mark stresses the importance of family. That's the thing that was my big takeaway from there. Mosh, don't you feel like it doesn't harken to like Al, right? And how Al, his relationship with his players and his executives, and whether you talk about Al Casal or Amy Trask or whoever else, right?
No.
Okay.
I hate to throw a cog in the works.
School me.
You and I are family. Jeff is family because we've been through enough.
Okay.
You know, when I was at my son's funeral and I looked out and the first face I saw was Jeff leading a group of my students. You know, Jeff and Casey and they were there. Jeff's family. The rest of us are part of a team. And a team can be as close as family, but families, and I don't need to tell you how dysfunctional families are.
Okay.
So, La Familia in the way that it's familiar, but not family, but cohesive as a damn good team.
Okay.
So, you know, I kind of, you know, like I've worked at places and they go, oh, yeah, well, we're the, you know, so-and-so high school family. No, you're not. Because you're not who I'm going to call when I got to bury something. You know?
Okay.
You're who I'm going to call and say, I can't be in tomorrow. You know? but and I hate to throw that, but we've been saying that for 10 years, but it's like family, but it's familiar like family. But it's not. It's cohesive like the best unit you could ever put together.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
it's just kind of my look at things.
And you know what? If we all sat around and agreed with each other, radio would
fun
suck.
with that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So no, a different take, and I get your point. You're right. I mean, you're not wrong on that.
No, but there's you go through.
But
life.
in terms of what in your facility. Is it that unit, that cohesiveness, that connectivity when you're there? Does that breed success because you're working towards one goal? Like,
sure,
I get all that.
Yeah, you can call it your work family, but you gotta connect it. Now, do they have to be blood? No. If I got something, there's a reason he's number 4 on my speed dial. Because if I can't get you, who's number 2, and I can't get Dallas, who's number 3, I'm calling Jeff, who's number 4. That's family.
Right,
okay?
right. I got you.
But you know, the rest of them are it's a cohesive working unit. That's amazing. So, you know, I don't know.
As long as it's connected.
As long as it's connected and it works, man, you can call it a pile of dog shit for all I care. As long as it works, man. As long as it works.
As long as they put up the W's, right?
Long as because W's are important. Unlike that last guy who was at the helm.
Ah, jeez. Oh, gosh.
The score is important. We do need to win.
That was the weirdest.
What is the weirdest comment ever? And we like that guy.
Love that guy.
Oh!
Familia.
Exactly. We did. I mean, we sat and we chatted with him for the longest time, you know, at the Bolitnikoff, because, you know, Frank said not to drop names, but we did, and it was great. But, you know, what a dumb thing to say.
That was a weird thing to say. Absolutely.
Is he working?
Yeah, for the Packers.
Yeah, for the Packers.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of family.
Yes.
I got more respect to get to. We don't do props. We don't do shout-outs. We give respect around here. We're going to give a lot of respect. So I'm going to give respect to your son-in-law. Some call him Caller Greg in Tennessee.
No way.
Yes. And we should probably make him tonight. You want to?
If we remember at the end of the night, let's try to. If there's time, I mean, we're already almost an hour in.
I'll look on that and see. I've got a schedule of made events.
Okay.
And if we can work Greg in, we'll do it.
Okay. All right. Here's why I'm going to give respect to Caller Greg in Tennessee. Caller Greg in Tennessee stopped by the house the other day. We hung out for a little bit, had some breakfast, and Caller Greg said, "Hey, I was going through some boxes and I found some stuff, and I figured you might want some of these things." So for those of you that are on the audio podcast, I'm holding up to the camera on the YouTubes.
Oh, no way.
Raiders cards. So Dr. Death, Skip Thomas. Who we got there? Raymond Chester.
Nice.
Phil Villapiano. A couple Phil Villapianos. The Raiders team leaders. Dave Dalby. Lester Hayes, who we're going to hear from later. Chris Barr. Mark Van Egan. Bob Chandler, Willie Hall, Clarence Davis, Jack Tatum, George Beeler, Monty Johnson, Henry Lawrence, Mark Van Egan, Monty Jackson, another Villapiano, John Matuzak,
Topps cards?
Bob Chandler, and Rod Martin. Yeah, these are all Topps cards. Old school Raiders
That's
cards.
my era, dude.
I know, and here's why you're going to love this segment, Uncle Mosh, because he also included this guy, number 60, Otis Sistrunk. There you go, Mosh.
Oh, nice.
There you go, Mosh's all-time favorite player. Give it up for the man from Mars. The man from Mars, Otis Sistrunk. There you go.
So what we're saying is that gifts can get you made just like 3 phone calls?
Absolutely. Well, if we get time.
If there's time.
That is so cool. That's going to go right up here on my shrine over here that I have in front of my desk.
There you go.
That the camera can't see. One day when I'm beating Jeff with a pan, we'll scan.
Do we want to talk about it?
Talk about it and then hit a break because we got some more to get to.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need to announce that in the future, would you hand me the pan, please? Would you get me the pan? That in the future, the way that things have transpired, as we go through life and we get older, we learn from our mistakes. And if we don't learn from our mistakes, then we're destined to repeat them and keep doing the same thing without learning from it is something like that. It says that that's the definition of insanity. So I want to go on record as saying I will no longer, in the immediate future, be beating Jeff with this pan. And this pan has gone through some really fun ass whippings. Okay? The reason that I will not be beating Jeff with this pan is, and I'm handing the pan to Jeff, is because I'm in a back brace. I don't know if you can see it.
He's not wearing suspenders tonight.
These are not suspenders. This is part of my back brace. 2 weeks ago, when I whipped my buddy, I dropped the pan, and I picked up a chair, and I started pummeling him with the chair. And when I set the chair down, I yanked my back. Well, I didn't know it until Saturday. And come Saturday, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't move. A number of Josh's old pain pills later, and I still couldn't move. We're 2 weeks into this thing, and my boss sent me a text before the show started, and she said, hey, don't beat Jeff with the pan tonight. I need you the rest of the week.
I love that about your wife.
Yeah, no, it was the boss.
Oh, your boss.
Yeah, the wife.
Oh, the other boss.
The other boss. The wife told me if I come home in pain again, I can't play with you guys anymore. So
you'll no longer be getting beat.
So from now on, what I want to do is I want to show you how I'm going to beat Jeff. Okay? Jeff, give yourself 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes! Give yourself 1 more and then throw the pan down and be in pain.
Finally!
This is Kevin, the Raider Nerd, live at the Oakland Raiders tailgate. Raiders!
He sounds like one of the main guys there.
We got Gorilla. We got Uncle Mosh and Murf.
I love you guys. Much love from the black hole, baby. Just win.
All right, here we go. Appreciate all of you joining us in the chat room tonight. Swag Jeff, who do we got in there, buddy?
Oh my gosh, we got everyone in there, man. We got Kill Jadis, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Alfred Esparza, OG Daniels in there, Chronicles of the Black Hole. Let's see, Lee B is in there. Paul is in there. Edgar V is in there. Let's see, Crujo, Running Bear, Shane Tolbert. Let's see, Jeff Wilson, Lee B. Let's see. Shad Owen is in there.
Hey, Shad.
Yoshi was in there.
What's up, Yoshi?
Yeah, Robert Pena's in there. PGF Raiders in there. Oh my gosh, we got so many people, man.
So many people. We appreciate all of you joining us live. You can do that each and every week at the YouTubes, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. Jump in there into the chat room, the best chat room in all of Raider Nation and all of sports, if you ask us. All right, next up, we want to give some more respect. And we want to give respect to the California Sports Hall of Fame. Hey, what's the rush, California Sports Hall of Fame? But they finally inducted.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, finally inducted John Madden and the legendary Al Davis into their Hall of Fame. It only took
they're worse than Canton.
I know, right? It only took an extra 30 years. But I mean, how big is the field in the California Sports Hall of Fame? You can't get Al and John in there.
I just got issues with Halls of Fame. I hate them. I hate them all. And I hate the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the worst. The year, this is why
Let's go.
I hate Halls of Fame.
Do it.
What about the year that Kiss was passed over for ABBA? Are you kidding me?
Brutal.
Who says rock and roll more, ABBA or Kiss?
Right?
Yeah.
Please.
Did ABBA write I Want to Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day?
Right. No.
I got one for you. How about Metallica being passed over at the Grammys for Jethro Tull?
Oh, let Ian Anderson stand on one leg and play a damn flute.
Terrible.
Please.
Hall of Fames
are stupid.
Stupid.
They don't let real people vote on stuff.
No.
And this stupid California Hall of Fame? What do they do?
Like, seriously, in all reality, seriously, Al Davis passed away in 2011. John Madden passed away just a couple of years ago. But they won their Super Bowl in 1976. I don't know how many teams won the Super Bowl that represented the state of California prior to 1976. I could figure it out if I sat here and thought about it. But not a ton of them leaped to mind. The Rams didn't do it, right? The Niners didn't do it back then. The Chargers didn't do it. Were the Raiders the first team that represented the state of California to win a Lombardi trophy? I think, there was only 10, but it came before, right?
Right.
Jeff's wearing the shirt right now. Super Bowl 11, January 9th. Not even planned this. January 9th. They won that Super Bowl in the state of California.
Right. Josh, there was a point, in fact, that the Oakland Raiders were the winningest team. Now listen to what I'm saying. The winningest team in all of professional sports history. They had the highest winning percentage. All you got to do is listen to my man and pull out any reference tool. How can the owner of this said team, the Oakland Raiders, how can he not be put into the California?
There it is right there.
Sport. Read it for the
top professional sports franchises from 1963 to 1991. The winning percentages, number one on the top at the time of this publication, the Los Angeles Raiders with a 670 winning percentage ahead of the Boston Celtics, Montreal Canadiens, and the Baltimore freaking Orioles. The winningest sports franchise, the first team to bring a Lombardi to the state of California, and it's 2022.
Please, a collective sigh.
So I guess this turned into from much respect to it's about effing time, you jackasses.
You know, the only people that do it the right way, and you can say what you want, but the only Hall of Fame that does it the right way is there is one.
Okay.
And I'm talking rock and roll, I'm talking California athletes, I'm talking is the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
You're right.
They are the only one.
100%.
Vince will put, and the WWEF / whatever you want to call it, will put people in as needed and then adjust them. They adjusted when Chris Benoit on his whole situation.
Yeah.
They took care of what needed to be taken care of, and they don't even have a brick and mortar building.
Nope. You're right. And they'll bring people in. They don't make them wait this big, long period of time and wait for voters and all this BS. You're right, Mosh. I love it. Great point. All right. So I guess reluctantly we're going to respect now the California Sports Hall of Fame. This is kind of cool because Mark Davis was there, Mike Madden was there, and they got to accept the awards and the induction on behalf of their dads.
We are at the Ontario Convention Center, and this will be our 14th California Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. This year we are inducting Al Davis and John Madden. When you think about the Raiders, you think about John Madden.
Okay, I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass after we just yelled at them. This is their 14th induction ceremony. Little bit of a pass. Because they've only been doing it for 14 years. I'm still screaming we should have made the top 5.
Okay, so
but it's a little understandable.
I love them for that, and I appreciate them for that. That they get that pass. Okay, I won't say I love them. Who was ahead of those people?
That's what we got to know.
You know, who was ahead of those people?
Yeah.
Who's ahead of them? You know, it's like
if Don Coryell is in there,
it's like
people.
I've been a coach my whole life, and I also direct plays, and when I cast people. You know, I did it when I cast my shows, and also when I put out my lineups. I would, if I had a lineup and I had my top 7 players, like when I was, because I coached track and field and cross country, and when I had my top 7 players and then my 3 alternates, and I would have parents come and say, "Well, how come my kid?" Blah blah blah, and I'd say, "Okay, here's the list. You tell me who your kid's better than. Show me the times where your kids beat them." Or I'd say, okay, your darling little sweet angel didn't get the lead in the play. Really? So who is she better than? Because you tell me who she is, and we'll together make the phone call and tell her she's out and your kid's in. And it shuts them the hell up. So I'm willing to say, California Hall of Fame, who'd you put in ahead of Madden? Who's got the bona fide more than Al Davis? Willing to bet nobody.
Right.
There's probably greats. Willie Mays is probably in there.
I would hope.
I would hope, and by God, if he ain't, he better be.
Or McCovey.
Or there's a
Vita Blue.
Or gimme Don Drysdale. Gimme Sandy Koufax for my folks in L.A. But by gosh,
14 years.
Seriously?
Yeah, okay. I was trying to give him a little bit of a break, but you're right. They still suck.
Sorry.
Was one of the youngest head coaches when he was hired, and then Al Davis, who hired him, is one of the guys that actually made the game what it is today.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, celebrating the life and career of my dad and the other Hall of Famers tonight. So thank you very much.
We're here because of his accomplishments and all the great things that he did in every aspect of his life. So I'm proud to be here, and he's being inducted into another Hall of Fame. It's fantastic.
I know that Al would be so pleased that he and John Madden are being inducted together in the same class, because the two of them were in a class all their own.
Okay, that was said
I
really
think it's
well.
fantastic that they both went in together. And I think Mike did a great job. And, Jim Gray did a phenomenal job as well about talking about my dad. And I'm just really proud, and it's a great moment.
All right, Swag Jeff, I hate to give you homework, but
yeah,
would you mind looking up to see who the inductees were to the California Sports Hall of Fame for the first 13 years? Just out of curiosity.
Actually, I'm going to override you.
Okay, please do.
Jeff, you don't have to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Paul. Paul, are you listening? Nobody, I don't know why Paul has the research tools that Paul has, but Paul I can go, well, I wonder who
He must have normal sized thumbs, because all of us in our family have fat thumbs and we can't type into our phones fast.
I know, right? Well, we got to find that out. All right. Paul, you on it? Thanks,
all right.
bro.
All right, there you go. So Paul. Sorry, Paul.
And Paul, when you tell me, I want you to be that dad that I just referenced. And I want you to say who should, this person's in, this person's in, this person's in. Al should have been ahead of him. John should have been ahead of him.
Okay.
You're on it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Fair enough.
Sorry, Paul.
Right.
Paul.
Okay, Mosh, we got some more respect to get to.
Okay, go. Who is it?
This is the big respect segment. We're going to give respect, much respect, to our good buddy, Dan Clore. Dan Clore, if you remember, is the guy that heads up the Weapon X band and also Strength in Numbers Entertainment. Dan is, there's no such thing as a former Marine. He is a Marine that is now in his...
He's a non-active duty
non-active duty Marine. Thank you very much. And so I learned that from my old man who was a Marine. And so anyway, so we appreciate Dan, of course, and his amazing service to our country. But he also provides entertainment for veterans. And what I mean by entertainment, he provides like trips to concerts and like all these really cool things, these different events for veterans around the country. And his band is Weapon X, and they're great. And go to their website. You can just go to weaponxband.com. Definitely check out Dan's band. They're great. Dan sent me a clip of one of their last performances. He wrote an original song called Ride or Die, and it's Ride or Die as a Raider, and you can hear it on the website. It's amazing. And he sent me a live clip of it. So we're going to play the live clip that he sent. Jeff, you got something there before we play the clip?
Yeah, well, Paul isn't responding in the chat. I don't know. He must be going to get another cup of coffee or something like that. But so the California Sports Hall of Fame started in 2007.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
There you go.
So 2007. The 2007 class includes Reggie Jackson.
Oh, fair
Agreed.
enough. Okay.
Jackie Robinson.
Agreed.
Okay.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Jerry West.
Yeah. We don't like Lakers.
Elgin Baylor.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Of course.
John Wooden.
Oh, sure.
Tom Flores.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. I just hate them a lot less now.
I hate them a lot less, but like Flores ahead of Madden?
Agreed.
Maybe, well, because I was going to say, but maybe because Flores is from Cal, but so is John.
Yeah.
John coached at University of Pacific.
Keep going.
All right.
Keep going.
All right.
Bill Walsh.
Yeah. Stanford and the Niners.
Let's see. Kellen Winslow. Marcus Allen.
Okay. Well, because USC and then the Raiders.
Yep.
All right.
Eric Dickerson. Deacon Jones.
Deacon.
Deke.
Jim Plunkett.
Because Stanford and then the Raiders and the Niners. Okay. All right.
Let's see. And that's it.
I still don't think you put, but ahead of Al?
But who owned that team that
That's
Plunkett,
what,
thank
you.
Yeah. Right. No, I'm with you.
That's better.
And so that was the first year. So there wasn't.
So then, the following year.
Well,
that's year one.
That was year one. So that there was not an ABBA on that list. No, I'm serious. There was no Jethro Tulls on that list.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
You know, it wasn't like, a Harmon Killebrew because he flew through Oakland once.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're 2008. So after that, so they go Willie Mays.
Thank you.
Dan Winfield.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield. Yeah.
For
the A's.
Yeah. And
Cheryl Miller.
I don't know who that is.
That's Reggie Miller's sister, basketball player.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
She had a hell of a 3-point shot.
Yes.
Dan Fouts.
With the Chargers,
really?
He played ball in Oregon before.
Yeah,
that's
see
stupid.
there. Okay, there's my ABBA.
There's your ABBAs, Dan Fouts. Yeah.
Yep. Vin Scully.
Yeah. Okay. Announced all the Dodgers games. Yeah.
And that might have been it.
Okay.
Now see, that's a weak class.
That's a weak class.
You don't have to have just. How can you go through the history of California sports and only put in 5 guys when you're a brand new Hall of Fame and that was in 2008?
That Al,
weak.
Al could have been right there. There.
Totally.
Okay.
There you have it.
Are we done yelling?
We're done yelling.
This turned into the California Hall of Fame hate show.
Lalo Melosa says, respect for mentioning Koufax, Dio Mosh.
Hey, and
you know what?
And we don't like Dodgers.
And we don't like Dodgers, but we love Sandy Koufax. Anybody that can say, you know what? I'm at the top of my game. There's nobody better in the major leagues. Bye-bye.
I'm out.
And there wasn't drugs, there wasn't alcohol, there wasn't hoes, there wasn't, you know what I'm saying? There might have been some hoes, but there wasn't.
You're thinking of ho-hos, Mosh.
Well, always. There wasn't a whole controversy around it. He just said, "I'm done. I want to go out on top." I have always respected Sandy Koufax for that. Sorry.
Ron the Man Raider says Rivers got in for competitive breeding. Oh my gosh. All right, we digress. Let's go back to our buddy Dan Clore and the Weapon X Band and check in with the live version. It's just a clip. It's only just like a minute or so long of their song, Ride or Die's the Raider. And I encourage you, go out to the website, check them out. They're on Spotify. They're all over the place. And you can hear the recorded version of this song. But let's check in and hear it live. And then we're going to get into some more Raiders news. Good, huh?
It's badass, dude.
I love that line. He says, "We take what we want and not what you give. That's the Raider way."
Yes.
So good. Isn't that so good, dude?
So freaking good.
Oh my gosh, we love Dan Clore and the Weapon X Band, man. We appreciate you, my friend, and yeah, keep that stuff coming, man. We love to hear it, and look forward to meeting up with Dan one of these days. That's one of the guys we've known a long time through the show, and unfortunately never got a chance to meet him in person. And so look forward to meeting you one day, Dan. Maybe down at a game or something. All right, this is cool. All right, let's get into the media stuff now.
Let's talk about the Raiders.
Let's talk about the Raiders.
At the top of the show.
Here at the top of the show.
We've done a good job tonight talking
We
about
have.
the
We
Raiders.
have.
We really have talked about a lot
We
about
have.
the Raiders. We haven't even, we've digressed a couple of times. But we've done good. All right, so let's check in with a guy who, listen, I don't like to feature this guy a lot on this show because I think he's a blowhard and I think he's a knucklehead. But it seems to be more and more he's kind of coming around. Now, I don't know if it's because it's trendy. I don't know if it's because it's ratings or whatever, but it's more and more this guy is coming around. Before I play the comments from Colin Cowherd, Swag Jeff, tell us what we just had there in the super chat.
Yeah, we had a $20 donation from Fabricator Gil.
Thank you, Fabricator Gil.
Thank you very much. We're not giving anything away tonight, but all the money does go to the One Nation Foundation as we are screaming towards our goal of $8,000.
Awesome,
Screeching.
Man. And
Screeching.
I texted a little bit back and forth with Gil today, and Gil is going to offer up some tickets to the Raiders-Patriots preseason game.
Okay.
And also some parking passes, and we're going to give those away on the show.
Oh, right on.
So if you want to make a contribution to the One Nation Foundation and get those tickets for whatever you're willing to contribute, send me an email. That is at Murf at RaidersFanRadio.com. That is MURF at RaidersFanRadio.com. And we appreciate Gil and his incredible kindness and willingness to share those tickets with us. I asked him, I said, "Do you want anything in return?" And he was like, "Nope, just give them away." And I was like, "Okay, but we're going to ask that you make a foundation donation.
Foundation donation.
Foundation donation. We're not going to auction them off. Not going to do any of that. Just you send me an offer, and we'll send you the tickets. And we appreciate Gil for being willing to do that. All right, so let's check in with Colin Cowherd as he says that he likes the Raiders' direction this offseason.
What I like about what I see with the Raiders now is with Gruden was there, it was all about John. It was all about John. And I think New England now has become all about Belichick. I don't like that. I think if you look at the NFL franchises that work in San Francisco, it's the owner, it's the GM, it's the coach. They all have to keep each other in check. They all have limitations on power. I think the Seahawks have gotten into trouble now because Pete Carroll has too much power. I think Russell kept him in check. I think Paul Allen kept him more in check. So I think I like what the Raiders are doing now post Gruden. Whatever you think of John is, it feels like, John was bulldozing over Mike Mayock in draft selections. Now we've got a new coach. He'll work with Derek Carr. We have a woman now running it.
Yep.
Everybody, there's checks and balances. Nobody has too much power with the Raiders. That is, and by the way, that is exactly how the Rams work. Stan runs it, but he's not a meddler, but he has ultimate control. McVay has control of the offense. He hands the defense over. Les Snead runs the draft. He certainly asks Sean McVay for what he wants, but he doesn't just go to the offensive side. He drafts a lot of defensive players. Everybody, Dallas, Jerry's got too much power. Belichick's got too much power. Pete Carroll's got too much power. It doesn't work in football. I don't think it works anywhere. I think Golden State's a great example of this. Kerr, Bob Myers, Steph Curry, Draymond. When Kevin Durant went there, they were great, but it felt like everybody was bending over backwards to make sure Kevin was happy, and the chemistry was not right. So I like what the Raiders are doing post-Gruden. Everybody gets a say. Everybody held accountable by somebody else that's competent around the cubicle.
Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to Mark Davis recently, and he's a very caring and thoughtful person who wants the best for his franchise. And the bottom line is Sandra was the best fit for this position and the new culture that they're trying to build within the Raiders. And I hope this is just the beginning, that you see a woman of color in a high-power executive position that deserves to be there, because this league desperately needs some more diversity.
Oh, yeah, it does. Ownership, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, and I'm like you. I can't stand this guy, and I can't stand his voice. He sounds like he's just one of those. He's one of those.
Weather
guys
on the 8s, traffic on the 9s.
Right, exactly.
Hey, it's Boner and JJ.
Boner
in the
and
studio.
exactly. But I kind of agree with what they were saying about it seemed like at least in the media, not within Raider Nation, because we knew that the team was more about the team itself, but a lot of the people in the media, they always talked about John. Oh, John's triumphant return. Oh, he's come back to the promised land. He's
John's all about John.
Right. But so they always talked about John Gruden's Raiders. John Gruden's Raiders. He's come back to the Raiders. He's, all this and that. We're now, remove John Gruden, bring in Marcel Reese, bring in Sandra, bring in the new coaching staff,
Ziegler,
McDaniel,
right?
Ziegler, all that
that's
stuff.
A good point.
You got all these people that are working together now to get things done. And, because whether you like John or not, John got what John wanted. Whatever he wanted, he wanted Cleve Farrell at number 4. He got it. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. So, I agree with them. The team is moving in an amazing direction, and they're all working together.
Great points, man. I couldn't agree with you more. And I'm not a big fan of Cowherd, but we featured him. I'm not a big fan of Stephen A., but we're going to feature some Stephen A. I know, but look, when someone says something that's on the nose,
You really think it was on the nose?
I totally think that was
I don't think all of it was on the nose.
Okay,
Talk about it.
Well, and I'll tell you why. Okay. I tell you, I think a lot of it, I think 80% of it was on the nose, but I don't think everything was the John show. I think, yes, you're right, Jeff. I think that John got what John wanted, but I hope all of our head coaches always get what they want. But I'm a coach's guy. Okay. I'm not saying that they should have maybe all the power that John had, and I think that's what you were getting at, Jeff. I'm not speaking for you, but I do think that if it comes from the top down, and the top has to keep the coaches happy so that the coaches can keep and I use the word happy loosely, but keep the coaches content so they can keep the players content so that they can get out and bust their ass every day, week in and week out. It's a long season. So I'm not ready to throw Gruden under the bus for that part of what he did in his tenure there. He was, and I talked about it ad nauseum for years, is that he was brought in on a 10-year plan. He was brought in to change the culture and to do what he did, knowing how to do it. He was given that leeway. He was given those reins. He was given the keys to the kingdom. So why not use them? And I'm not going to dog him for doing that.
I think what Cowherd's point there is that when you give somebody ultimate power, and there's not checks and balances or other influences involved, that person's singular vision I think a lot of times that goes awry. And when you look at it through leaders of organizations, in this case, you're talking about football teams, but you could also look at beyond that when you get into media companies, when you get into creative, networks. Look at and I know you probably hate the Star Wars reference, but George Lucas was way better when George Lucas wasn't making all the decisions on his own. When he hired other directors, when he had influences like Steven Spielberg, the product was better because you had other eyeballs, you had other influences that were influencing the end product. When Al was in complete control, Al wasn't as good as when Al had Ron Wolf. When
Only
Al
at
had
the
Al
end,
Locasell.
and I totally disagree with you. That was at the end when Al was slipping, okay? But when Al was in control in the heyday of the Raiders, Al was in control.
But he had Ron Wolf and those guys.
But what I'm saying to you is that we knew Gruden was given the keys to the kingdom coming in, and the bulk of us embraced it. Welcome back, Chucky.
Sure.
Everything was great, and we were starting to see the progression of the team in a positive direction. So now that he's gone and we've gone in another realm, okay, it didn't work, but we empowered him like that. We, as in collectively Raider Nation. So I'm not willing to say that it was bad. It may not have worked for us because we're going in another direction, but I agree with you that there are some bad components of no checks and balances, but the tone in which Colin Cowherd said what he said is he said it in a negative way, and I'm not ready to say that Gruden's tenure was negative. I just can't do it.
I think that's fair, and I don't think his tenure was negative either, but I also believe fully that when you have the collective influence is better than the singular vision. Unless you're talking about something that's out of nothing. Like, I don't know, again, think about creative properties. Like I think about, Jeff and I have talked a lot about Stranger Things lately. It's the Duffer Brothers singular vision, right? It's those two guys and it's their vision. The original inception of the Raiders was Al Davis and it was no one else. And Al Davis crafted that. But as things evolve, if you just stay in that same singular vision, you can kind of get passed up because you stay in that same lane. That where you have other influences to because the NFL is ever changing. It's a constant evolution.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's important to have that. And I'm with you, Mosh. I'm not ready to throw out John Gruden's legacy. It's unfortunate the way that it ended. And it was, I mean.
It's not over yet, though.
Well, that's a whole nother story, too, right?
Right.
But point being, though, is that you're right. It wasn't, quote, unsuccessful. But is this model set up to have the potential for greater success? I think so, yes, because now you have a community of leaders and not a singular vision. And and when you look at the most well-run organizations around the world, whether they're sports or otherwise, that's what you see is a collective vision.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Paul in the chat, and I love what he said. He says, I think the difference now is that Mark Davis is actually acting like an owner.
That's a great point.
Because
great point.
Yes, he did give John the keys to the kingdom, and we were all okay with that. I came in to Raider Nation.
Right.
I came in when it was him and when it was Mayock and Gruden, and I came in for that first draft and stuff like that. And I always go back to like hearing the stories of Mike Mayock having to show all these hours and hours of film of Josh Jacobs before John Gruden says, okay, fine, we'll draft him. And then you look at the later on draft where we got Hunter Renfrow, Max Crosby, all those guys, diamonds in the rough and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think Paul said it exactly right. He's acting like an owner now, and he's bringing in different pieces to make an organization, not just giving his buddy a key to the kingdom and saying, here you go.
Because that's effectively what he did with McKenzie and Del Rio as well. Like
not saying that was a bad thing, because we all at the time
in 2016 it was great in 2016. But anyways, I'm with you. I think that sentiment and that idea that look, you bring in football people to do football things. You bring in a Sandra Douglas, right, to do team presidency things, right? Talk about things within the community, within the industry, within the state, the political side of owning a large sports franchise in the state. That's what she's going to do amazingly. That's not Mark Davis's business. That's not what he does. That's what she does.
He's delegating all the different jobs of what an owner of the Raiders needs to do. He brought Marcel Reese in to hang with
To be the ambassador
to be the
to the-
ambassador to
thank you,
Raider
yes.
Nation, a guy that embraced, Raider Nation and vice versa. They brought in all these guys, he brings in this duo of McDaniels and Ziggler that are best friends and have been successful in the league and know how to get the job done, stuff like that. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But, I think we're kind of missing a little bit. So Cowherd is talking about it was John's team, but I think that a lot of that was still also the media. I mean, whether you agree with it or not, they always talked about, whenever you were talking about the Raiders, you were
That's true,
talking
too.
about Gruden. But
you're right though. But and to Mosh's point, that wasn't John serving John. That was the media making it about John. That's right. That's kind of what you're saying?
It's exactly what I'm saying is that, and you can't. A good leader puts people in positions, people that he trusts and people that he respects, so that he doesn't have to micromanage. Okay, and so in Mark's defense, Mark put John in that position and said, "Here's the keys. Go make me a team that wins, and I'm going to give you $100 million over the next 10 years to do it." Okay, and so he was allowed to do that. When that, and he's a businessman, so when that business model came apart, I won't call it failed, but when it was pieced out and he had to start anew, he came up with this new business model. He put a new head coach in with these responsibilities and doesn't have all the keys to the kingdom. He put in a new GM, and now he's put in a president, and each one has a box. Your box is here, your box is here, and your box is here. If you have an issue and it's not in your box, don't F things up by going outside of your realm and refer it to the GM, refer it to the owner, refer it to the president, okay? And because Gruden didn't have those components, he's acting like that's a bad thing. And that's the offense that I take to the way Cowherd said that. Because you guys are right. I love that model. As having been a head coach with people underneath me, as having run different organizations for the state of Tennessee and different things that I've done, I had people in place, and you guys in the business world understand that. You have people you trust. You don't have to micromanage. You know they're going to make the decision. You're going to back their decision 100% because you put them in that spot to make that decision on your behalf, on behalf of the organization. So, that's just the way it is. And it's different, but I'm not saying that the other was worse. We could right now be talking about how good Gruden and Mayock are doing had things transpired last year.
We might have won a playoff game if John doesn't go anywhere.
Seriously, that didn't involve if we didn't have people on Twitter with guns, and we didn't have the tragic accidents, and we didn't have the horrendous stuff that came out with the Gruden emails. Things would have been a whole lot different.
Right.
But we can't talk about ifs. Jeff?
Yeah. So I like you brought up Al, because Al is a very similar way. Al got what Al wanted, and he brought us 3 Super Bowls. He brought us 3 championships, and it worked. And it worked for a really, really long time, up all the way until the very, very end before Al sadly passed away. And then after that, when Mark took over, he kind of was given keys to the kingdom to all these other people, because that's what he saw his dad do, and he saw the success in that. So now, and he did the same thing with John. So now, and what we've what's the word I'm looking for? The theme for this offseason is adaptive.
Right. Yes.
The coaches are adaptive, all this stuff. Now Mark is adapting. This is the way the NFL is now. You got to adapt. Doing the same thing every time. It's what we always talk about with Gus Bradley's defense. You can't always run cover 3. You got to do something different, man. You got to try something different. So now Mark is doing that. he's adapting and he's brought in, say, okay, you do this, now you do this, now you do this, and we're a well-oiled machine and we're going to make it all go. So, so I like from the top to the bottom, everyone is adaptive this season, and it's going to be special.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Love it. Great job, guys, man. Excellent commentary. Excellent comments coming in from the chat. We appreciate you so very, very much. And yeah, that's a great point. And I love the idea of about the team being adaptive with so many different levels. All right, guys, we're going to skip the next two segments, but I do want to get this one last clip in from here, the one we got from Good Morning Football, which they were discussing the new. So this is the new look GMFB. Sans K Adams. Oh my God.
Miss her, man.
Oh, we miss her. But
yeah, we do.
But anyways, let's check in with the GMFB folks as they talk about, are the Raiders being overlooked this offseason?
I do think they are being they're not being talked about enough. Like he just said, this is a 10-win team. They went to the playoffs last year. They had a coaching snafu. They had adversity that they had to work through. And we're here crowning the Denver Broncos because they added Russell Wilson. All we're talking about is Tyreek Hill leaving Kansas City, but we keep saying it doesn't matter. They're still going to be on top. And then there's the Chargers. All we keep talking about is how good they are now because obviously Herbert's return. They signed J.C. Jackson. They got Khalil Mack. We focus all around the division, and it's just like, hey, the Broncos finished last year, and they got a new coach, and they got a brand new quarterback. They have chemistry they have to work through. Yes, the Raiders have a new coach and a new GM, Josh McDaniel coming in, bringing a Patriot way. I talked to my guy, Duron Harmon, who signed there this offseason, and he's fired up about it. He said the one thing that they're building now is continuity. This is the important part, he said, during the offseason, is they've been building that chemistry. Guys are getting together, doing things outside the building, getting to know each other, and that's the focus. And those are the intangibles that you're going to need to have a good season for them to really be able to push to be at the top of that division.
See, I have a problem with the comment. I think it's a straw man comment. And what do I mean by a straw man comment? I think we talk a lot about the Raiders. And I think when they got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones, we did 2 weeks of like, the Raiders are back, the Raiders are back, the Raiders are back. If anything, we got to pull back the reins on the Raider talk. And by doing this, by saying we're being overlooked and people aren't talking about us, and it almost makes it like nobody believes in us thing, which is almost mind games that I appreciate from Derek Carr. Like, in no good faith can he walk in and look in the mirror and really believe we're not talking about the Raiders. All we talk about is the Raiders. Talk about Derek Carr and how he got his new contract. Talk about the Raiders. Talk about Hunter Renfrow. He's so overlooked. Well, he's not overlooked. We talk about him every single day. And then Chandler Jones. And then, to your point, all your Patriots buddies, it's not only just McDaniels and Ziegler, it's Mick Lombardi comes over there from New England. And then you add in all the players, Brandon Bolden, Jacob Johnson, Duron Harmon. It's a who's who of like leaders from the Patriots. If anything, I think I'd like to see them get beyond the wild card round, and that's what I want to see. And we talk a lot of Derek Carr. His brother's on the darn network. He talks a lot about it.
You make that sound like it's a bad thing.
I like Darren Carr, the oldest brother.
I don't like this guy
But
anymore.
all this stuff doesn't matter in May, June, July. What's going to matter?
You just went through an entire relationship with Peter Schrager
in
a 1 minute comment.
Think about it, though. I had wives that didn't last that long.
And not even for them in December. It's going to matter in January because when it mattered most, the Raiders had the ball down in Cincinnati and they couldn't get the job done. They are better on paper.
Oh my God,
I think
shut
they've got
up.
a better coaching staff, and their quarterback just got paid. And if you don't think that Devontae Adams out there makes a bullseye on your team, you're crazy. We talk a lot of Raiders, but you got to go take care of business, and you got to make sure we're talking about you in January.
Peter, okay.
Here comes Kyle.
I was good. I think one of the most obnoxious things that people do in our industry is they're year after year, no matter what happens, they just hate this team or hate this player, and it's a shtick, and it gets them swimming pools, and good for them, and they do it. Great, if that's how you want to have your career, enjoy a swimming pool. For years, I've not been a fan of the Raiders or Derek Carr, just objectively. I just don't think the results have been there. That's all changed. I really like the Raiders this year. And the biggest reason why is so unbelievably impressed with what they accomplished last year. Just understand. Derek Carr's right. They were in the playoffs, and they were one throw away from beating the Sweetheart Bengals. What he didn't mention is they're in the playoffs with an interim special teams head coach in a season in which their other head coach went through hell and was let go, in which Henry Ruggs, all sorts of crazy things that would have torn other teams apart, and this season would have just died on a vine. It inspired them. They won. They got into the playoffs over the Justin Herbert Chargers. They were there, ready to win that play. I can't tell you how impressed I am with the Raiders last year and how much it changed how I feel about Derek Carr, who I've always thought was a pretty good quarterback, and now I thought he was an amazing leader. I love what they have. I have really robust feelings about how they're going to finish in the division, which we'll get to shortly. But if people are saying that the Raiders aren't this or aren't that, it's not me. Like, listen, I think they're coming for the Chiefs. Like, I think they're that good. I love them this year, and I love the McDaniels factor, which seems to be this big enigma in it where, oh my God, not only are they having a new coach there, I mean, kind of like a loaded topic of a head coach that we're not sure, but we're excited about. I love them this year, and I think they earned it last year.
I love it, man. I love it. KB is, as Alfred Esparza in the chat says, that's right, Kyle, facts. It's nice to hear from whether it's of course, Kyle Brandt, like he said, like I've just objectively have not been a big fan of this team over the years. That's changed. You hear Colin Cowherd talking about the Raiders. You hear Rich Eisen talking about the Raiders. The national narrative around the team, other than the haters like Florio and the people like KB was referring to, the people that built swimming pools just because they're going to hate on the Raiders every single year.
Right.
Aside from people like that, you're now starting to hear this narrative change. Isn't that kind of nice, Jeff? Like, do you remember, like, once upon a time, you would turn on NFL Network and they would be, like, doing training camp specials and, like, whatever else. And it was like a ghost town for Raider news. You would never hear anything.
Nope.
Like, they would act like we didn't even exist. And now we're front of mind. Like, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to turn on the TV and hear something good about your team. You know,
Right?
I mean, because it's a passion of ours. You know, we love our team. And when people talk shit about our team, I turn it off. I don't want to listen to it.
I don't want to listen to
you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear, you know, people giving us some respect and stuff like that. You know, I still like being the underdog. I still like a little bit of hate. I like a little bit of hate from the media because, like, okay, keep running that mouth. Keep running your mouth. We'll show you. We'll show you what's going on. But, you know, kind of what Peter was talking about, it blows my mind. And we were just talking, and we were shaking our heads when Peter was talking about it. Everyone's all in on the Broncos because they got Russell Wilson.
Why did we go from worst to first?
Why?
All because of two people? Not gonna happen.
No, and they lost Von Miller?
Yeah,
Please.
Give me a damn break, man. They suck, and they're gonna suck. You know what I mean? And the same thing with the freaking Chargers. Okay, great. They added Khalil Mack. Wow, what's he done since he left the Raiders? Nothing besides steal money from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, that's so stupid. And bringing it, okay, J.C. Jackson, yeah, he's great. You know, he's good. Good deal. We got Nate Hobbs. We got Rocky Sin. You know, we're good.
We're good.
We're going to be all right.
Absolutely.
It's just, you know, but they still got stupid, whatever their coach's name is. What's his name? Staley, whatever. The timeout king. Whenever they still got him. They still got his ass, so they ain't going to win.
Oh, my God.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
Tell it.
I just had a revelation.
All right.
A moshism, if you will.
Okay.
We love these.
A moshulation?
There's a reason. No. I know what you're talking about. That was not it.
Yarn.
This is a well thought out idea. It's not a premature modulation. This is a well thought out idea. I think
get that looked at.
I think and I believe in my heart that the reason that Raider Nation is growing has a lot to do with wrestling. Now bear with me if you will.
Okay.
There was a thing called the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the best era ever.
It was in the late 90s. And it was you look who your champs were. Your champs were Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was the everyman. He was the guy that did the fingers to everybody. He guzzled beer. He
beat up his boss.
He beat up his boss. He broke through when he wasn't supposed to. It's affectionately known to those of you that watch wrestling as the Attitude Era. There was a reason that in 1997, after winning SummerSlam on his WWE debut, that Rocky got booed because he was a babyface, and there was no room for baby faces. The Broncos are the baby faces of the NFL. The Cowboys are the baby faces of the NFL. The 49ers are the baby faces of the NFL. There's no room for baby faces in the NFL's new 2022 Attitude Era.
Let's go, Mosh.
There is one team one team only. That's the Raiders. We might as well have Raider jerseys that say Raiders 316.
Yes.
Because seriously, that's the reason people like us. We are the everyman. We are the folks. We are the folks from the Attitude Era. We're the ones that say, okay, you know what? We about perfect. Jeff is holding up a foam finger that Murf and I got at a wrestling event a million years ago. It's an Austin 316 finger. But that's really that's the reason we're gaining this popularity. That's the reason Stone Cold was on Letterman. That's the reason back then when Rocky turned heel in 1997 that he became so popular, that he's no longer called Rocky, that he's back, he's Dwayne Johnson, that he has multiple shows, that he's a multi-bazillionaire. It all had to do with the Attitude Era. And that's what's happening right now with NFL football. We're entering into the Attitude Era. And who's the Stone Cold? The Raiders.
Finally!
And that's the bottom line, because Uncle Mosh said so.
I'd crack this Coors Light and chug it, but it says spit all over it, so that I make sure I don't drink out of it. I had to write spit on it, so that
I was wondering why you were grimacing earlier when you took a swig of your beer. All right, we're gonna skip.
I don't know. That's just a thought.
That's a great thought.
I love
it, Mosh. Great stuff there from the legendary Uncle Mosh. And so we're gonna skip. I got two more segments to get to. Teaser. We're going to talk to you next week about the comments from Jamarcus Russell, or as we affectionately refer to him as Jabustus Fatback. We're going to talk about him, and then we're going to talk about this is actually one of my favorite things this week, and I'm kind of bummed we're not going to have a chance to get to it, but look forward to it next week. Jeff talked at the Fannies last week about the Best Friends Award, right? And you talked about Chandler Jones and Max Crosby, and and Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, and Ziegler and McDaniels. Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes are my new favorite team of best friends.
Nice.
And I've got some incredible audio coming from those guys. Yes, it's amazing. But we're gonna do it next week, and so just consider that a teaser. But we'll be doing a 3-hour show if we keep going with everything we had planned.
Hey,
tonight.
so can we get Greg next week then? Because we're gonna run out of time.
We're running out of time. We'll get him next week. We'll get him next week. Let's go ahead, because we want to hear from you, and more of you and less of us is a good thing. So Uncle Mosh, let's jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag.
Fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied. He's thrown. It is.
All right, Raider Nation, we appreciate all of you that are joining us in the chat room tonight, where you can find us at youtube.com/RaidersFanRadio. That is each and every week. And we appreciate you. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider killed Jadis, Julian Cardenas, Lee B, Rick Rada, Lee B, Edgar V, Foxy Scorpio's in there, Running Bear is in there, Killed Jadis is in there, Ariel Zuniga is in there, Lencho is in there. We appreciate you so very, very much and for sticking with us through episode number 251 of Raiders Fan Radio. And as we mentioned, more of you and less of us is a good thing. This is where we love to hear from you, and you start communicating with the show, because then we can include you in our annual Fanny Awards show like we did last week. Or actually, I'm up for an award next year. Most likely to give you COVID.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
This is, if you think about it, this is actually the first time I've seen you since last week. Since 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I mentioned I was playing injured last week, and I was a little swimmy headed during the show. Turns out I had COVID, and I had tested negative prior, and I was
twice, right?
Twice I tested negative, but sure enough, the next day after the Fannies, I tested positive, and I was worried that I was going to give it to these guys. Thankfully, nobody in the fan cave got it, and nobody I came in contact in my work life and otherwise and personal life got the COVID. So I'm glad it was an isolated incident. But yeah, so most likely to give you the COVID in the fan cave, that's me. But anyway, I digress. If you want to be a part of the show, email us or call us. If you could call us, it's 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Or you can leave us an email at show, SHOW. As Mosh says, the incredibly inventive email address is show, SHOW. What?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
My headset's dead.
All right. That's show at RaidersFanRadio.com. And so you can leave us an email, and Uncle Mosh always reads those emails. And Uncle Mosh, who do we have tonight?
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start. This might sound a little weird because my headset's dead, but that's okay. It goes like this. Oh, yeah. Keep alive and permit me to jive. It's the Macho Man, Raider Savage, coming to you by the way of electronic mail. Yeah. The Macho Man, Raider Savage, is unfortunately down with a cough, but Raider Savage is still hanging tough. Jadis went camping, and he brought it home to me. So now the cough has spread to all three. But now don't worry, because the Macho Man clubbed Jadis until his brain was in a paralytic status, which is exactly what Chandler Jones is going to do to Russell Wilson's bones. Oh, yeah. Now, I know Jadis sent an email last week, but I say that it's too weak. Double the weeks off means double the fun, which means Raider Savage can't be outdone by his manager. Take care, Raider Nation, because now that this has been a long vacation, but football season is just around the corner, and on our wait time is starting to get a lot shorter. Soon we'll hear the thumping of pads and the grunts of our lads, the cracking of helmets to decrease our enemy's cognitive wellness. The silver and black will be going on attack, and there won't be any looking back as we become the leader of the pack. Oh, yeah! The quiet time in sports is going to end, and we won't have just baseball to watch, but football, America's real pastime sport. Now, let me just say a quick note to Swaggy Jeff, and I just want to say, never mind. Apparently, Jadis just made me delete that part because he said it was too mean. But I'm just joking with you, Saggy. Sorry.
Is that what he said?
Sorry. He must have been referring to my boob shot last week. But I'm just joking with you. You can turn this down just a little bit. But I'm just joking with you, Swaggy. You sacrificed your body to help me retain my title, so it's all love from me. Be patient, Raider Nation, because Raider football's coming up soon. Can I give an oh yeah? Can I get an oh yeah from everyone and everyone that's in the chat? And if you're ready for Raider football, say oh yeah. I said, if anyone is ready for Raider football, say oh yeah. Dig it.
Nice.
Wow. We all know who that was from.
Well, yeah.
What's up, Murf, Mosh, and Swaggy J? You may recognize me, but if you don't, I'm just a guy that pops in the chat room every once in a while. Even though I haven't been listening very long, I can say that this is definitely the best Raiders show on the platform, and it cannot be beat. Much respect to everything you guys do for the One Nation Foundation and other Raiders charities as well. Wednesdays are always my favorite day because of this show. I love you guys and the rest of Raider Fan Radio Nation as well. Raiders! Shailen Sangara. And he said, P.S., I'm thinking of changing my name to Raider Shank.
He did.
Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so for some of you that aren't in the chat room and didn't see what Raider Shank wrote, somebody said, whoa, because he's in Canada. Somebody said, does Shank mean the same thing in Canada?
That was Coach Davis. Coach Davis said that.
Yeah. And, of course, Shank said, oh, no. Shank, it's like a familyism thing. So it's
because I wondered about that too.
Yeah. It probably doesn't. It's probably not in line with the Shiv sisters or something. You know. All right.
Hang on. Well, I was whittling down my toothbrush while you were talking.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be kind of in the blind here because I'm playing without a headset. It was clicking on and off. I'm just gonna go until I'm done with this and then we'll go. Hey everybody, hope you're all well. Since the last show, there's been a few things going on. I hope you all had a great July 4th, and thank you all for July 4th. Speaking of that, happy birthday, Al.
Yes.
Happy
yes.
birthday, Al.
Respect,
Happy
respect.
birthday, America. Happy birthday, Al. Happy birthday, my buddy Angela. July 4th, and thank you all for looking after the old country for another year. Of course, it was also the birthday of Al. If I would proofread these, I'd see that he was saying
right.
it's also the birthday of Al Davis. Where do you start when you want to pay tribute to the biggest maverick in sporting history? Never has there been a sporting figure that has achieved so much, changed so much, and battled through so much adversity to achieve his end goals for the team he adored. The man has no equal in any sport anywhere in the world. There are a few pretenders, afternoon Jerry Jones, but there's no one like Al Davis, and I firmly believe that St. Peter only stands at the pearly gates because he has Al's permission. For that matter, the pearly gates have probably been changed to silver and black by now anyway. A happy belated happy birthday, sir, and thank you. I'm sure Al would be proud of his son right now after the appointment of Sandra Douglas Morgan. I know I'm proud. She seems like the perfect fit for the role. And I got a little bit of a crush. Yeah. She seems like the perfect fit for the role. And of course, it's another inspiring progressive appointment by Mark and his team. Welcome, Madam President. Congratulations are in order for another exceptional Fanny's Award show. A very fitting way to reach show number 250. At this point, I wanted to say something really profound about the RFR family and their generosity shown towards the Summer of Swag. But words fail me. You're a wonderful group of people. Absolutely, Paul. So, the new season is slowly getting closer. It seems a long time ago now that we signed Davante Adams and Chandler Jones, but the season is nearly with us. In fact, it's only 22 days until the Hall of Fame game against the Jaguars.
Yes.
I'm getting pretty annoyed now, though. I hate preseason. I always have done. I've always thought it was too long. So I'm thinking of lobbying the hierarchy at the NFL for a couple of rule changes. I propose extending rosters to 100 players. The season to run for 10 months from September to June, and a complete ban on orange, red, and powder blue.
Deal.
I think I stand a chance of convincing them it's the right thing to do, and if I put enough money in an envelope, I'm sure I could get their attention. As we head towards the Jags game and Cliff Branch's big weekend, my thoughts are already turning towards you, our next inductee, and they should be. There are still many deserving names, all of which I'd support, but above all others, I wanted to see my guy Lester Hayes finally rewarded and acknowledged for the great player he was. His stats are there for all to see, and many an ex-player will tell you all about the judge. Then last week I got my wish when he was announced on this year's shortlist. I've got everything crossed for him. Also announced was Amy Trask, which is another fantastic achievement, and anybody who has read her book, You Negotiate Like a Girl, will agree that she is fully deserving of the award. Only one thing would give me more pleasure next year, and that's our 4th Lombardi trophy. My rant this week is aimed at Brett Favre. During an interview with TMZ Sports last week, Brett really let himself down. Favre believes that Davante Adams will regress because he hasn't got Aaron Rodgers, and that it would take time before Adams and DC gel as a unit. He's used, he's used an if that happens or if that happens scenario. Well, Brett, me old mate, if my auntie had junk, she'd be my uncle. If is the biggest word in the English language. The comments aren't based on anything other than what he wants to happen. He conveniently ignored the fact that they've played together before and have known each other for years. If you look up the word chemistry in the dictionary, there'll be a picture of them together. He's obviously bitter because Adams left Green Bay, and he doesn't want to admit that it's the Packers that will take the step backwards, not the Raiders. A very poor article, probably the most pointless piece of literature since the A to Z of French war heroes. The Philip Rivers... Wait, there's more. The Philip Rivers Book of Birth Control. Or John Elway's famous Learning to Count with Your Hoof.
And that was his second book.
Yes,
the
it was.
The first one was How to Eat Corn on the Cob from Around the Corner.
I can't cope with preseason anymore. I need football. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Paulie Award winner. 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. PRT Sizzler scorekeeper. Proud made man. 5-time plus one winner. Paul, this is your fault. You killed us.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi.
I'm Paul. Paul in the chat says how to eat an apple through a tennis racket. That was the name of John Elway's first album. So it's funny. So I got to tell you this. I read one of the funniest comments on our Facebook this week. So it was the 4th of July, of course, here in the United States, and so I posted up a picture of me and my son Vinny in our Raiders stuff and our 4th of July gear with our fireworks, and I put it on our Facebook. And so Keith Smith, who was the president of Silver and Black UK, over there across the pond, he wrote a pretty funny line. He said, "What's the deal with the celebration?" I thought that was pretty funny, right?
That is hilarious.
That's pretty funny. And then Chuck Splatterhead McCann, president of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole, wrote in response, "We're celebrating the pronunciation of the word schedule."
Nice.
Isn't that funny? That's a great line. And he spelled it like S with a capital K. Schedule. Oh my gosh, I died. That was so funny.
Great.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, good old freaking Chuck and Keith Smith, man. We love you guys. All right, next up, let's get to these emails. But before we do that, I guess we got to hit this break.
Britannia rules the waves. This is Keith Smith, the Crusader Raider, calling you from London, England. And you're listening to Raider Fan Radio. And we're in Murf's Cave, and I tell you, this is the only place you need to be. Go Raiders!
Can you say busted?
All right, here we go, Raider Nation. We got... Oh, no. I missed something. The guys have lost it. Something happened off camera. The guys have lost it over there.
No, the problem was it was on camera.
Oh, no.
So, I wrote it quickly. I wrote a note, and Jeff saw it, and I was flipping the note, the bird, and so I thought my camera was still on, and I was like doing a bird over here, and I look up
on the fan cam.
and I look up in the fan cam. So
do it again, Jeff. Well, it is this. You did do the Stone Cold earlier, so might as well.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh, too funny. All right, so next, let's get to the voicemail. So you can leave us a voicemail. I told you this. Good thing we cut 2 segments because here we are at the 2-hour mark at the top of the show, and we're just getting to the voicemails where you can leave us a voicemail at 909-345-3346.
That's 909-345-3346 or 909-345-3346.
And if you leave us a message 3 times at 909-345-3346. We will refer to you as a made man or a made woman because every crew needs a captain. And wait, no, that's not why.
What? Yeah, they do. You damn right about that, Murf.
You can become part of the crew and by leaving
but not the captain.
But not the captain because there's
we already got one of those.
We got one of those, and we call him the Capo. He is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, and he always kicks off this segment.
Greetings, John Murf, Sick Larry Mosh on the Boston Sunny, a sausage arms of Stitzer. Big Raider trucker. Mojo from the Universe Speech from Lonely Mean King, Swag Jeff, Wild Raider, Chuck Splatterhead McCann from the Inebriate Nation, Ron the Mater Raider. Let's talk about that doggone Hall of Fame game. I heard it might be a team in it that we might be interested in, but I digress. Nation, once again, the Silver and Black have blazed yet another trail in the sports world. Enter our new Queen of Darkness, Sandra Douglas Morgan. Who has broken through that glass ceiling and becoming the first female president of an NFL team. This marks a historic day in Raiders history, but more importantly, in league history. It also marks the end of my low-key relationship with a certain mayor of San Francisco, London Breed. Baby, you knew what this was whenever I was looking for a home for the Raiders, and I got to move on, baby. But once again, the hiring is a milestone
his relationships
for women
with female officials.
and a step forward for racial equality. Now, the NFL will come to find out what the Raider Nation has already realized. Raiderettes do it better, baby. Now, as a man, I'm pleased to see that our new president is breaking down barriers. As a Raider fan, however, I'm honestly not surprised by the hire. Looking at the history of the Las Vegas Raiders, I mean, they've always been trailblazers in the NFL. This move is nothing new to our organization because that's simply what we do, baby. It's not a publicity stunt. Following up, Gruden's second tour as head coach, nor is it, something just to basically garner more clicks as far as the Twitterverse and all that stuff is concerned. This person, President Douglas Morgan, is simply the best person for the job. I don't have to run down her resume to let you know that she is entrenched in Las Vegas and has been an integral part of multi-organizations dealing with millions of dollars and actually has put her wares to use. This specific signing reminds us of Al's vision, and it still lives on, baby. The greatness of the Raiders continues to be his future. Davis cared not about the color of your skin. He didn't care if you were gay. He didn't care whether you were a woman. All he focused on was winning. And if you could do and get the job done, that was good enough. So with that being said, the President Sandra Douglas Morgan's job description is simply put this way. Just win, baby. During the American Century Celebrity Golf Tournament somewhere up in the upper part of Nevada, continual pain in our ass. Travis Kelce was up there golfing, hacking left, chasing him right, but he was heckled by one of our beloved fans, and he responded in this way by saying, I tell the fans all the time, I love them. I know I'm getting a dub and 200 yards every time I play the Raiders. Granted, the numbers somewhat check out for Kelce, but in reality, though, he has never had a 200-yard game against the Raiders. He only came closest in 2018 when he amassed 168 yards against our beloved Raiders, and Kelce gives, as good as he gets, but he's been known to be on the record as being fairly complimentary of the Raiders over the course of time, so I'll give this fool a pass. Now, there have been a lot of talk lately about the Las Vegas Raiders rosters and where they rank going into the upcoming season. You have our favorites, Pro Football Focus, ranking us as the 21st in the league. Then you have CBS Sports, which goes and puts us up at number 12. The chatter about this team is all over the place. I mean, honestly, the Raiders have been, as far as expenditures, and I put this on the sourcing of Big Raider Trucker himself as the 13th team in the league that spent the most money on their offensive unit. And that's a big mark in the right direction. However, the pundits, they're all over the place talking about we can go anywhere from being a repeat playoff team to being fourth in the AFC West. Now, let's take a real hard look at the roster. And honestly, we got to put aside our silver and black colored glasses and look at the team for what it is. We aren't going to write these guys off either. Do I see them making the Super Bowl? Possibility. If you cannot handle, how we go about looking at our own team objectively, what are we doing this for? Now, the top of the Raiders unit looks impressive. Most impressive. I can't remember the last time the Raiders team had this many position groups that had top 10 talent across the spectrum. Now, DC4, Derek Carr, regardless of how you feel about him, and I do have feelings, he's getting ready to be in a prime position in order to put a lot of people in their rightful place. Nevertheless, if one of these premier acquisitions that we've got or premier players that we've retained suffers an injury or for whatever reason fails to live up to expectation, see Corey Littleton, Cleve Farrell, or Jonathan Abram, the Raiders may not have the pieces necessary in order to carry on for another, campaign as a playoff team. And honestly, the team might actually crumble. We almost saw this last season. Our Raiders, they almost missed the playoffs because the offense sputtered after losing a couple Alabama products. This year's Raiders figure, they have even more star power, but likely less depth. The bottom line is the ranking rosters on paper, hey, that's for amateurs. That being said, we can still take a hard look at our team, and I think we might actually be okay. According to Sport Track, the Raiders are estimated to have over $20 million in cap space heading into the season over the summer. Recently, NFL Network's Total Access Body Beautiful host, MJ Acosta Ruiz, interviewed David and Derek Carr, who gave the best take about the new Raiders mentality moving forward. When asked by, I guess, MJ about a certain team that is in our particular division, the LA Superchargers, DC4 said he's already talking trash to Khalil Mack, and he hasn't stopped since Mack left the Raiders. DC4 summed up the Chargers' defense as Mack, Bosa, and a bunch of guys. And why wouldn't he? The entire NFL landscape of pundits, talk show hosts, radio hosts, beat writers, and even podcasters and fans are praising the Chargers this preseason, citing the many additions they've made to their roster, freely offering the prognosticators basis for their emotions and feelings. Sounds feminine to me. However, keep in mind that it was the Raiders who made the playoffs in 2021, not the defeated Chargers. It was Carr who, after Bosa called him out for folding up like a lawn chair in the face of pressure, effectively ended the Chargers season, and we were there as RFR to watch it in person. For all the moves the Chargers have made and bolstering their defense, understand one thing. They weren't good enough to beat the Raiders last season. In fact, one could argue that every move that they have made thus far, the Raiders have been on par with, if not exceeded, on their own. The Raiders no longer have to say no excuses. Now they can just take the next step and focus on winning the AFC West and have Carr shut all the critics and naysayers up. A little-known fact, it is that the Chargers have never beaten a Patriots team with a Josh McDaniels-led offense, and now we've got that offensive genius on our side of the equation. Jamarcus Russell, who was asked on a certain pod show yesterday if he considers himself to be one of the biggest busts in league history, and he had a funny response saying, I must have been the best to be the biggest, Russell said. Now, if you're going to call me a bust, put the biggest on that MF. So there you have it. Acceptance. You suck. Silver lining. Legendary Raiders traitor Randy Moss will be replaced by RG3 this fall on Monday Night Football Countdown. A hit list. Stanford Samuels, the Las Vegas Garden Railway Society, Jackson Mahomes, Roger Goodell, Jerry Jones, Daniel Snyder. Is that dude? Is he still docked in France? Jim Rome, Mike Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, and Insurrection.
Oh, there he is. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, ruined deed, my friend. Excellent stuff. Where is Daniel Snyder?
I'm not sure. I can look him up.
Hey. Yeah, please. What? What is it, Mosh?
Well, Aaron is amazing.
Of course.
Aaron,
why he's the capo?
Well, and he brings it, and he's not scared of Google. Google doesn't get Aaron anymore.
No, Google doesn't get Aaron.
Aaron is to Google like, Chuck Norris is to a bunch of sissies. Aaron ain't scared of Google.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He does earth downs.
He does earth downs. Yeah. Okay. We've had a lot of people talk about this is so off the rail. Do you want me to say it?
I mean, unless you want to be here for another 30 minutes.
I just want to give a shout out.
Okay, do it. I'm in no hurry.
I know we don't give shout outs.
Yeah, we do respect.
I watched something over the last week.
Okay.
That, honest to God, was one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen on TV. It was one of the coolest new sporting events.
Okay. You talking about tag?
No. It's so much better than that.
It's the professional tag.
I'm telling you right now, it makes tag look like it's a bunch of sissies. I'm not lying to you.
Okay.
This is called the World Series of Stickball.
Oh, really?
The World Series of Stickball. I have a fellow employee that participated in it. He participated. He played. He's from Oklahoma, and he's part of the Chickasaw Nation, and he played on a Choctaw team. And you guys are looking at each other like I was looking at it, right? So this is what it is. It's played on a football field. I'm just going to tell you quickly. It's played on a football field. There's a post on the goal line of each football field. It's like a 6x6 post, about 10 feet high, 12 feet high. There's 30 guys on the field, and each one carries a stick.
Okay.
And they have a ball. And it's like lacrosse. They have to scoop up the ball and they can advance it.
Okay.
And you have to throw it at this stick, and that's how you score a point.
Okay.
Right? If you got the guts, you can keep the ball locked in your thing and tap it. There are no pads. Some people wear shoes. Some people are barefoot. There's no rules on tackling. The only rule you have is you can't get mad.
Okay.
These guys beat the living crap out of each other.
Sounds fun.
Amazing. It's like if you took rugby and lacrosse and you took the sissy pads off of the lacrosse players and they out there. But the best part of it was the women. These women were like 160, 180 pound women, and you can tackle, you can pull hair. You can pull jerseys, and they beat the living crap. They had 3 stops in the first game I watched for the ambulance.
Wow.
It was like rollerball. It was
R.I.P. Jimmy Kahn.
amazing. R.I.P. Jimmy Kahn. It was, and I have so much respect for the Native Americans that participated in this. Not only that, but I just last little bit, it's the longest professional sport, and it's professional, but they don't get paid. Longest recorded sport ever in history. It's been around for 500 years.
Really? Wow.
That's how some of the Native American tribes used to settle their scores. As opposed to warring against each other, they would play stickball, and it is badass. If you'll just go on the YouTube and put in World Series stickball, just watch 5 minutes, and you're going to be hooked. I guarantee it. It is amazing. It's such a cool off-season sport, and it completed, I think, today.
Nice.
But it's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay. Awesome.
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Go ahead, and because I have zero way to transition or segue out of that. So hit me an audio break there, and then we'll get to the next
I'm sorry I derailed us, but I meant to say that an hour ago when we were talking about the off-season of the off-season, but we had so much to talk about.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny Spencer from the punk rock band Stringer, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Murf and Uncle Mosh. Go Raiders, baby.
And Swag Jeff.
And Swag Jeff.
All right, you guys don't talk enough about the Raiders, so let's go to our caller in the 305 and check in with him in the Sea of Fans mailbag. And this is a tough, I'll just play it. Tell me if you can pick up the name here.
Hey, Murf, this is Happy Inflicted from Florida.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know if
it was Happy Inflicted from Florida.
I'm sorry I haven't been so lately, bro. I have my left leg removed. So I'll see you pretty soon, bro. God bless.
The man had his leg removed. I don't know.
Hijack Fuentes is what he said.
I didn't catch his.
I could have swore he said Hijack Fuentes from Centerville.
305. He's a caller in 305, which is Florida. And so call us back because I appreciate it hearing. I didn't get your message. I looked. So Jeff was here yesterday. I looked on Facebook. I looked on our Instagram. We get messages in so many different places. I'll say this, Raider Nation, if you want to get us something, send an email because we always will get your emails at show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or you can email me directly at Murf@RaidersFanRadio.com. If you send messages to the Instagram or to the Facebook, or it's kind of a hit and miss, man. We have so many different places that we are, Twitter and all that across our social media platforms. Send me an email, and that way we can read your email aloud. And sorry to hear about what you're going through, man. But we know that we're with you. We're thinking about you, and prayers up, brother, because that's a tough thing to have to deal with. I heard from our buddy Tim Moat tonight, who is
how's he doing?
Running back. He's in the ER.
Oh no.
Yeah. But shoot us those messages on the email, and know that we're thinking about y'all. And anytime, I always feel like, not to make it about us, but like it's very heartwarming to know that like when folks are going through challenges, whether they're in the hospital or whatever, that they're listening to our show and that like that are part of their recovery or whatever. That is a very, very flattering thing. And so, we'd love to hear those stories, but if you're going to send us a message, please do it by email. That way we can honor your story in the best way possible. All right. Next up. So we live in this little town outside of Nashville, Tennessee. We're all from California. Uncle Mosh and I are from the Bay Area. We've relocated to Middle Tennessee and we took our Raiders fandom with us. And so in this little town that we live in, there's a bunch of Raider fans.
Man, they're everywhere.
And here's one of them, and we don't know who this is. So again, we don't know who you are because we didn't leave your name, but respect, caller from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Greetings from the greatest collection of Raider fans in the world. Greetings from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Always remember to keep the focus on the mystique of Al Davis. History, tradition, winning, great players. Through all the decades, winning or losing, living or dying, it's all about the Raiders, and it's all about Al Davis. Let's go Raiders.
Let's go Raiders, man. Appreciate
Love it.
the call.
Love it.
Aaron the Q-Dog Raider says, not that last call before, that's Lalo Moloso.
Oh, was it really?
That's Lalo.
Was he right, though? I mean, or was he just saying that? Or
No, it says that's Lalo. You guessed the city. So
Okay.
So Lalo, send us a message on the email, please, brother.
Yeah, let us know, Lalo.
And again, you know that we're thinking about you. And caller in the borough there.
Yeah, hit us up. Send us an email, and we'll meet up for Domenico's.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll meet you at Domenico's.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Or King Louis spot or something like that, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep the calls coming. 2 more, and you can become a made man. And definitely leave us your name as well. All right, next up, we're going to get to our buddy, Cool Cody.
Hey, this is Cody Thompson, a.k.a. Cool Cody. Just offiest of the off-season, so been busy, but just caught up with the fannies and have to say thank you for being nominated and winning the Best Cody Award. I got to say thank you to my parents for naming me Cody. Not be here today. But really calling in here because I got moonlighted on my newcomer award. But in all fairness, I think the winner should go to the blind athlete, drunken blind athlete. He deserves it. That was a great first call, and he can be the sole winner since I got the Cody Award. So end the controversy there, and either way, great show. Thank you for all the content, and go Raiders.
All right, go Raiders, Cool Cody. So here we go. Mosh, I'm going to throw it to you. This might be one of the first ever. Have we had a reversal?
No, but the Jeff and I conferred why that was going on, and the record book has been amended.
Okay.
See how easy that is?
So cool.
Why is the Hall of Fame, why are they such asses about it?
It's easy. It was so easy.
I looked at Jeff. Jeff looked at me. We didn't even have to speak, and he went ahead and made the changes in the record book.
There you go.
Done and
done.
Thank you, Cody. That's what I'm talking about right there, brother.
Appreciate you, Cool Cody, and congratulations, Drunken Blind Athlete, on your Newcomer Award.
New Soul Newcomer Award.
Rookie of the Year here at Raiders Fan Radio. Next up, let's go down to our buddy. We call him the Houstorian. He lives down there in Houston, Texas, and he is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murf, Mosh, Swag Jeff, Nation. Houston Raiders Steve. Just want to say I got kind of emotional today watching the press conference for Sandra Douglas Morgan, our new president of the Raiders. As you know, she's been a Nevada resident for 40 years. She's been an attorney in Nevada. She's been in the gaming industry through teasers and the other gaming regulations and stuff. I can't tell you how proud I am that she's our president. Just like Amy Trask was when she was our first CEO. She brings so much experience in the business community, and also it's an entertainment community as well. And just think how many fans, like she mentioned, about expanding and growing the Raiders fan base. How many people she's going to bring, especially women, into being fans of the Raiders. As she said, we've got a worldwide fan base, and I'm just so damn proud that she's our president. She's the face of our organization.
And what a face.
And the fact that she's going to be working with Mr. Ziegler and our head coach, and you know who he is. I'm kind of emotional right now. I've got kind of tears in my eyes about the Raiders brand that she's going to be representing
You know, you think of Art Shell, first black coach, Amy Trask, first female CEO, Tom Flores, first Hispanic quarterback in the NFL, first Hispanic head coach in the NFL. Mark Davis is doing a wonderful job in expanding the tradition. Actually, I think he's just as good, if not better, in the business community. He's not combative, unlike his father, as much as we love Al. All I can say, it's always a great day to be a Raider, and I'm just so damn proud that she's our president. And the future looks bright. We got to wear shades, just like the song says. Raiders! God bless. Goodbye.
All right.
Can I tell you,
Raider Steve? Good job, Houston Raider Steve.
This might be the first time I've ever been disappointed in Houston Raider Steve.
Why?
I thought he was going to bust into a song right there.
Oh, that would have been good. Yeah. We love to hear you sing, Steve.
Yeah.
We love it when you sing here on the show.
Absolutely.
Not Steve and otherwise. We love our
we
live performances.
I can't even make eye contact with you right now. Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus. You're good.
I know. So speaking of voices of an angel, let's check in with our good buddy down in Santa Barbara, California. He is the man that adorns the southern annex or the western annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk when Uncle Mosh is not around and is collectively catches some hate from it.
I hate this guy.
No, you don't. He is the first one that ever commandeered your chair, Mosh.
Why are you trying to gas me? Why are you trying to wind me up?
Well, it didn't take much tonight.
You know what? Let me show you something. Let me show you what I think. Give me.
Don't
throw out your back.
It's on the floor over there. I'll get it.
Yeah. No, hey, put Baby Yoda down. Uncle Mosh, for those of you that are on the audio podcast, Uncle Mosh is taking the lovely Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, Jeff.
No!
Hit him again.
Hey!
That's for you, Kevin. That's for you, Kevin.
Damn.
If I
That's
wasn't
just wrong.
sure that Coach Davis's daughter was watching, I'd do terrible things with this stupid doll.
Jeez. Damn it. Let's hear from our buddy Kevin the Raider Nerd.
What's up, Raiders Fan Radio? Hello, Murf. Hello, Mosh and Swaggy J. This
Hi,
is
buddy.
Kevin the Raider Nerd. It's been a while since I called in, but I want to see how you guys are doing and check in. I'm really getting excited for the training camp coming up next week. And I also wanted to give you guys a shout out to you guys are doing a great job with the summer swag, raising lots of money for the Blitnikoff Foundation. You guys should be very, very proud of yourselves, and I am proud. And it's fun to watch you guys and listen to you guys celebrate that. So keep it up. Good job. Want to let everyone know, too, I will actually be at the first game of the season there at Allegiant Stadium against the Cardinals. I got my ticket. I'll be out there. If any of you fellow RFR families going to be out there, let me know. Maybe we can arrange a meetup. As for other games yet, still on the docket. Not sure yet, but I'll get back to you guys. I just wanted to throw something out that I was kind of curious about regarding the off season. And, we have a lot of big questions about the offensive line and, the secondary and all that kind of stuff. But I had someone bring up a question on another show that I was listening to that I found kind of fascinating was the backup quarterback. Obviously, we don't want anything to happen to Carr, but not about him getting hurt. What about if, the McDaniels offense decides to step on the neck of our opponents if we're up by a marginal amount instead of kind of letting him stay in the game like we had with our past coaches? What about the quarterback that you have enough confidence in that will back up, come in, give Derek a rest, and not let the team get back into the game? I kind of thought that was a fascinating question because it really hasn't been answered. Who do you, Raider Nation, have confidence in to back up Carr in a situation like that? Because I think that's important to pull out our high-paid quarterback and let our confident that we have in a backup QB to come in and not let the other team come back in. And God forbid also take over for Carr if anything were to happen. So I just want to throw that question out there. I'm kind of wondering how that's going to happen in the offseason and at training camp. Anyway, I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys during the season. And Murf, thank you again so much for coming on the Fandom Podcast Network on our Hair Metal podcast celebrating the best 1987 hard rock metal albums.
Let's go.
Okay, I can live with that.
Check it out on YouTube right now. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Keep it up. Love you. and look forward to talking to you guys soon. Kevin, out.
Let's go. Kevin the Raider Nerd if you need him. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice job, Kevin. Do it again. Uncle Mosh applause. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kevin,
What the hell's a Grogu?
Grogu, Mosh.
What is a Grogu?
That was that was Baby Yoda that you were assaulting.
I thought his name was Baby Yoda.
No, it's Grogu.
When did he become Yoda?
He didn't. It's not a Yoda. It's a Grogu. It's a different person.
Ew, Yoda had sex?
No, well, we don't know. Well, Yoda and Yaddle might have been a thing, but you never know. Yaddle. Hey.
Isn't that north of Portland? All right, here we go.
I think that's it.
That's it.
That's it. So there we go for the Sea of Fans mailbag.
Hey, and that call was not Lalo Malosa.
Oh, wasn't Lalo
It was
Malosa?
not.
Well, then who was it?
So we're still not sure, but we'll find out. All right, so
we're going to send out the RFR investigative report team.
We are.
Paul?
Paul, where are you, Paul? All right.
Tell him what we do at the end of the show, Mosh.
You mean when we say goodnight? That'll be tomorrow.
I know, right? No, before that.
When we give out a Sizzler Award.
Yeah, what is the Sizzler?
The Sizzler is the award for the best call and or email.
Yes.
So there's people that can't win anymore. People like Capo.
Right.
People like Mojo. People like Sonny. But everybody else is just about still qualified. So tonight we heard from the caller from the 305. We're not sure who that was.
That's right.
The caller from the borough who said we need to focus on Al and then what Al created. And then we heard from Cool Cody who said I want to relinquish my award and it was well deserved and it goes to the drunk blind athlete. And then Houston Raiders Steve, proud of our new president. And like we all are, the new face of the Raiders.
Yeah.
And that just brings a smile to my face when I say face of the new Raiders. And then, of course, Kevin the Raider Nerd. And I wasn't sure what he was talking about because I was having flashbacks to him sitting in my chair and it bothered me. So tonight's Sizzler Award goes to somebody that stepped up and did something he didn't have to do. And that's why he's got his name Cool Cody, because he relinquished his award and it's now in the record books and now he gets his own Sizzler.
Nice job, Cool Cody.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. We are Metallica and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
So Kill Jadis says, I'll tell you in a minute. I don't want to miss this. Ready? Here it comes.
Are you going to tell us more about
I'm going to tell you something.
Stickball?
Kill Jadis is pissing me off. Okay.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
We don't have time for Star Wars lore? Uncle Mosh will start to get confused? What do you mean start?
Oh my gosh, I love Ron the Mater says, wait, did someone say Battlestar Galactica?
Come on, Ron!
There you go. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you to all of those of you that have emailed the show and have called the show tonight and have joined us tonight live in the chat room. Appreciate all the donations that came in tonight. I know we saw one from Kill Jadis in there. There was one from Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. I don't know how I was having trouble keeping up with all the chat tonight to see if there was other donations, but all of those of you that have donated tonight, thank you so very, very much for your support of the One Nation Foundation, which is our nonprofit organization where we send all of your money. We appreciate you so very, very much. Vibrator says, where can I get one of those Mount Murfmore shirts? Okay. And Kill Jada says, love you, Padrino. Padrino, is that Uncle Mosh?
Thank you.
That's Uncle, yes?
Yeah.
Is that like Tio?
I know where he's going.
I know Tio Mosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say this? I hate to derail the show.
I noticed. Okay.
I just want to say that,
Okay.
that we're very close.
You need some more time to think about it?
No, we're just.
I got a number of options, and I'm going to wait.
We're very close. We're very close to, as the summer of swag ends, to the month of Otis. I just want to say that the month of Otis. We've only got a little bit of time to prep for Otis Sistrunk's birthday. That's all. Can we move on?
When is his birthday?
I'm not talking to you anymore.
When is the month of Otis? Is that July?
I just made it up. I told you gotta quit having me on when I'm exhausted. I'll derail in a minute.
This is what happens when we talk about the Raiders. You guys asked for it. Here's what you got.
There you go.
Oh my
The month of Otis.
I got nothing. All right, Swag Jeff, take us out of here.
Oh my gosh. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Lencho, Ashton, Anthony Provencio, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Rick Rada, Paul's in there, Tider Raider, B. Al, Kill Jadis, John Ogle, Vibrator, Lalo Maloso. Let's see here. Ron the Mater Raider holding it down in there. Let's see. Pirate 1975, good to see you, buddy. So, yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in, hanging out with us and all that. Talking about the Raiders a little bit and hearing all about Stickball. The official, the official sport of episode 251 of Raiders Fan Radio.
I don't mean to derail you, but Otis Sistrunk's birthday is September 18th, 1946.
So it's not next month; it's the month after that.
Yes, sir.
We got 2 months
Yes,
before the month of Otis.
So can we have 2 months of Otis?
Have you heard about Stickball?
I've heard all about Stickball.
What about pickleball?
I don't like
so
pickle.
Actually, pickleball's becoming all the rage.
That's what I'm saying. And then and the tag championships. Did you guys watch that?
Okay.
The shit's badass.
So
man.
the Las Vegas Raiders are now the 4th best sports show that we talked about on episode 251 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Good night,
Thank you guys
everybody.
so much.
Thanks for listening tonight. You got your old Uncle Mosh here for Murf and my buddy Swaggy J. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And as my buddy Mojo has so wonderfully said, adios, malingerers. What happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Drop balls, as the kids say.
I don't think they.
I don't think they say that. I think that's a bad thing.
Okay. Ball droppers?
I don't know.